there a little kind of, I don't know, countdown introduction, because it seemed that people were having some issues previously with the stream kind of starting without them and something about ads. I'm not too sure, but as the title suggests, today we are setting up September bullet journal setup stuff in Vogel's bullet journal, and we are going with a space theme. My default color palette for space themes is always like gold and blue, so that's kind of what I'm going with. I've just pulled out my long-term collections journal to try and find some matching pen colors, in particular the Zig Clean colored dot markers, because I thought it might be nice to have some circle kind of ability. So I'm thinking we might go with blue and Summer Sun. Summer Sun I've already pulled out, so that's fine, but yeah, it's just getting a blue match for one of my other blue pens. We also need that yellow. Where is my yellow? There we go. Okay, excellent. In typical fashion, my desk is a mess and everything is hard to find. Well, let me know in the comments or chat, what is it that you're doing along with us today? As noted, I am setting up September for Vogel, but I'd love to hear about what you've got planned and what you're getting on with and doing today. We said blue was the one that I was going to use, which is great, because I've got blue for metallics and blue for basics, but this one has a different barrel color, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Now, let's see. I have to remember which pencil cases have everything in them, because I do not have the best storage for my supplies. I've actually been thinking recently that I want to do kind of a bit of like an overhaul in my office almost, to try and organize some of my stuff a little bit better. There we go, blue sounds good, and this one is Blue Bonnet, but I think that one will be too pale. I think I like the punchier blue, so we're gonna go with that one. That looks cute. I just figured that having the dot pens would be kind of good, because we're doing, stars, sparkles, that kind of stuff. Monly? That's not a word. Well, it is, but it's not the one I wanted. Mainly planet-esque type things. So I thought that circles and dot markers for that would be kind of a good idea. Let's see, finishing up my September spreads and then watercolor. Nice. Hello from Daytona Beach. Oof. Hello to Florida, hello to Daytona Beach, and hello to Amy. Awesome. Doing your biology homework. Oh gosh, I hope we do not distract you, and I hope that it is going well. If you have any questions, I can't probably answer them. Cleaning some fountain pens. Nice. Oh, dinner and then setting up October. You are onto it. I have started musing with the idea of what I might want to do for October, but I have not picked anything yet. But anywho, let's see. So, where do we start? As a recap, for August, we were going with a kind of, I don't know, lighthouse theme or something, I guess is probably the overall theme. This one was using stickers from Planning with Kay, so just kind of paired that with a sailor tattoo type font and the red and white to kind of match the little, I don't know, safety flotation rings and stuff. This crab, he is my favorite. He is so cute. But these were all just stickers, and I've been using stickers in Vogel's journal for a couple of months now, so going back to doing something that I actually have to draw out is a little bit like, oh gosh, I actually have to try now. So, do I want to start with the cover and task list, or do I want to move on to the monthly log first? I'm thinking I might do the monthly log first, just because it's ruling boxes, which is a really nice, safe space to be. Hello, Tina! It's a pleasure to have you here. Oh, and hello from Germany. I love our international audience. So excellent. Now, I'm going to need a ruler. If I can remember where I put my ruler. Yes. I managed to drop my pencil down the side of my desk the other day, and I haven't been able to get it yet because it's behind my computer, and that requires moving a lot of stuff. So, no penciling in today because I can't be bothered getting my pencil. And there we go. We got my micron. We will roll up a calendar grid because it's a nice safe space to start. Now, for Vogel's calendars, I typically like to do them so there's 4 days on the right-hand page rather than 4 days on the left-hand page, because Vogel's left-handed, and I know that when I write, I'm right-handed. Hanging my hand off the side of my notebook is just really not the business, so I always prefer to have 3 on the right, so my hand can kind of rest on my journal, and because his is, left-handed work, we'll do it in reverse, effectively. Let's see. I'm glad that you can be here on the live. That is exciting. I know that, you know, the time zone for people doesn't necessarily work out for everyone. So I'm always very appreciative for people who are like, I'm going to make it to the live, and it's like 1 a.m. where they are. For some people, I'm like, wow, craziness. Let's see. I just picked up an 08, but it was not the right 08. I have one that's kind of blunt, which you can maybe tell a little bit. It's kind of flat-ended. You probably can't see it. But the other one, this guy that I picked up, he's my new 08, and he has a beautifully rounded tip, so we're not going to rule with him. I'm a little heavy-handed with my pens, so it doesn't take long for them to get a little bit blunt. So I try to make sure that if I'm doing ruling, especially with the 08, because I like a thicker line to rule, yeah, always try and use the same one, because then at least I'm only abusing one of my pens. What does the calendar look like for September? So September started on a Friday, which means we're going to have a box, 3 boxes, and then one that's down. Alright. Am I going to set it on the bottom, or am I going to set it slightly up? I think I'm going to set it slightly up, and we're going to put it here. Always feels kind of dangerous doing this without penciling in first, but again, not getting out my pencil because I couldn't be bothered grabbing it, so we're just going to trust in the heart of the cards, hope for the best here. 1, 2, 3, there we go. Yeah. 10 p.m. for you in the UK. Yeah, I think that in future we should probably start not necessarily alternating the live stream times, but maybe changing up when they are, you know, with advanced warning, because you know how good Jess is at giving advanced warning sometimes. Absolutely not good. But it'd be nice to change the time up a little bit so that then more people can make it along to a live if they so desire. But that is a future me problem to figure out. So I need to remember that we're only doing 3 days on this side. So that is going to be Tuesday's column done. And now we're on to Monday's column. There we go. Excellent. So if you haven't noticed, you know, just in case that this is a bit of a surprise for you, we are currently doing a month of planning, which previously when we've done a month of planning has actually been kind of like a month of planning with me. So it's been like a month of videos of me working in my journal, usually with some kind of a tidbit type thing. But instead, I really want to get through the Bujo Basics series so that we can move on to other video projects and whatnot. So for September, we are doing a video per day, and that includes live streams. So this is today's video. A video per day so that we can get through that content, because as much as I love talking about the basics of bullet journaling, you know, introducing people to the system and such, I much prefer talking about the kind of intermediate levels of bullet journaling, the stuff that we can do to make our planners our own and, you know, allow it to account for different areas of our lives. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yes, we did that correctly. That's always a plus. You know, find it hard to measure and talk. So of course, that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, so I was thinking that it would be a fun idea to do a month of planning where we don't necessarily call it out as a month of planning. Like, I'm not titling every video as like a month of planning day 3 or whatever like that. But just know that you are getting a video per day for this month, and you can watch as many of them as you want, as per usual. But yeah, so I am very excited because this week we have some really great videos coming out. In particular, like Bujo Basic stuff, of course, which, you know, they're all good, they're fine too. But more importantly, we have the Artronal of Subbox unboxing coming out. That one's coming out on Wednesday my time, I believe. So it's probably Tuesday most other people's time. And then we have my reading journal setup video, which I haven't filmed to completion yet. I need to actually film that first, but yay! I'm really excited to share that one. It was just like a bit of creative fun. And I kind of needed that at the time, so it'll be good to share that with you guys too. But yes. Other than that though, most of the videos for the month are the basic kind of stuff. So we've got one about bonus supplies. So we had our basic supplies video, that was on the weekend. And then we're going to have one that's kind of diving a little deeper into the other supplies that you can use in bullet journaling, especially if you're wanting to be a little bit more creative with your journal and the stuff that you can use to assist with that. And what else? I can't remember. I keep on changing my schedule around because I was still waiting to hear when I was allowed to share the sub box stuff, so it was kind of a floating video as to where I was actually going to put it on the schedule. But now as that's been locked down, we can kind of start to solidify the actual release calendar a bit more, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Let's see. I know that Vogel doesn't use his monthly calendar so much, but it feels odd to have the month set up without it. I mean, I think he specifically requested it. Maybe he just likes the visual of having a calendar there if he needs to, you know, find which day of the week a specific day is on. I find that my mind works better with a calendar layout, you know, compared to a vertical monthly log where you just like write the numbers down the side. Even if you put the initials there, it just doesn't click in my brain. Click in my brain. So, okay, this is gonna be like an odd thought, I suppose, maybe. But when I visualize a week, right? Like when I go to count through the days of the week or something like that, I always visualize the weekdays kind of... I need a paper. I need to show you this because it's an odd thought. Alrighty, here's a messy piece of paper. So when I visualize the week, it's always a cycle. There you go, this is a cycle. And it's always got the weekend at the top, if it's 2 days. And then it's got the weekdays along the middle here. So 5, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah? These are all equally spaced. Usually this part is bigger. But this is how I visualize a week. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if anybody else can kind of relate to the idea of like visualizing time in something that's kind of a little bit easier to see, I suppose. This is how I visualize it. That's how I kind of look to find it. Yeah, totally just gave an extra box there, but shh, it's fine. We'll just ignore it. It's okay. I got so consumed with the idea of making the top of the calendar right that I completely forgot that it didn't finish at the end. Oops. That's fine. We can fix that. But yeah, so I kind of like visualize the weekend is like the top bar, I suppose, and then the bottom is the 5 days of the week. So when I count around a week to try and find like how many days is like 4 days away or something, I'm like, okay, well it's Thursday, so then Friday to Saturday to Sunday to Monday. Yeah. You're the opposite, the weekend to the bottom. Interesting. I'm glad that somebody gets it, because yeah, it's like it's like a cycle thing. Well, I mean, it makes sense because each week we just go like, you know, the week, the next week, the next week, but just, I'm glad to hear that other people kind of get what I mean by that, because you have these thoughts in your head sometimes and you're just like, gosh, that's weird. Like, I'm sure that nobody else does things like this. Like, why are you being so strange? But nope, it's a thing. Yay. Good for community. Let's see. Started using calendar page for a doodle per day. Nice. I love that. 5-year journal hand cramps. Oof. Yeah, no, that's not great. I have not been super great at keeping up with my 5-year journal recently. Like, it still has stuff in it for every day so far of the year, which I'm actually very impressed with, because typically 5-year journals would only last me like 5 days, and then I'd be like, yeah, this is boring, I don't want to do this anymore. I think it'll be better next year, because each day will be like an opportunity to check in with, how is past Jess doing? What was past Jess doing this time last year? Like, oh look, she was complaining about something. Oh look, she was having a whinge. Nah. No, I try to make it not necessarily just positive focused, because I think that that's just, you know, unrealistic standard to hold ourselves to. We like to have an accurate representation of what life was actually like, but I do try and make sure that I'm noting down small wins as well as just big milestone kind of things. So it's like, hey, you edited 2 videos today, good on you, or whatever else. So for the calendar with the extra box, do I cover it? Probably. I'm probably going to cover it. But I want to do the dots in every second one. I think that'll be cute. Poink, poink, poink. And by every second one, I mean every single one's going to get dots. It's just going to be alternating colors, effectively. That looks good. That one. And that one. And then the other ones can have the blue dots. Sploink. This one notably doesn't get used as much. I can tell because it's very juicy compared to my yellow, which is one of my seemingly favorite ones, which is interesting because yellow isn't typically a color that I would consider to be like a high contender for favorite. But this gold yellow that we've got, I use quite a lot, which is interesting. Let's see, did you see a year? Do you see a year or the past? They have their own shapes for me. Interesting. I don't think I probably don't visualize it as often to know what I would visualize it as, if that makes sense. A week I visualize quite a lot. That's why it's very clear in my mind what it actually looks like. Oh, Monica's calling us out. We should probably hydrate. Thank you, Monica. All right, I need to actually open it, but dink. There we go. Water, as always. Good on you. Yeah, we're just going to ignore that. I'm supposed to be drinking more water this month. Ah, beautiful. What a satisfying sound. Excellent. And tink again, because just in case anybody missed it. Oh. I did just put a dot in the extra box. This is why you're supposed to fix your mistakes before you get onto other things. It's fine. We'll just make it part of the decoration or something. We should probably fix that box now if we're actually going to fix it. So, to the rescue comes white sticker labels, which is my new favorite way to fix mistakes. So we're going to need to cut off a piece of this. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I know that some people have trouble with like visualizing and also not having an inner dialogue. I can't remember what it's called though. I'm sure that somebody will help us out there. But we're just going to cut off some slithers of this. I'm just going to cover over the lines themselves rather than try and cover over everything. And we'll get some little tweezers out so I can put it where it needs to be. There we go. Poink. Surgeries with surgical precisions. This comes down way too far. I need to cut that off too. Where is my craft knife? Yeah, aphantasia. Aphantasia. You don't have an inner dialogue either. Yeah, interesting. There we go. Surgical precisions to get off that little extra piece of the sticker because we don't need all of it. And at the moment you can kind of still see through it, but I will end up going and putting decoration over that, so it's not really an issue. Oh, okay, so yeah, the like idea that not everybody thinks in words, it's quite interesting, eh? What I find very interesting, like if you take a moment, and I don't know, we're gonna do like watermelon, it's nice and easy, okay? So like, if you, in your head, just whisper very carefully, like, watermelon. And then, in your head, you shout very loudly, watermelon, it's actually at the same volume, and it pisses me off. Like, you know, your shouting voice and your whispering voice in your head is actually just the same volume because it's all in your head. So we're just cutting off a little slice of this so that then we can put it over the mistake. Over the mistake. And then we will do something with that dot once we come in and actually start the decoration portion of this setup. There we go. That's not so bad. Just because otherwise I will end up writing 31 in here and then be like, gosh dang it, more things that I need to... Yeah, it's like whispering and shouting. It's the same volume. It's freaking me out. So we can put the stickers to the side, which this is just such a great fix for things, especially if you're using a journal that has kind of bright white paper, is that you don't have to stuff around with a white pen or anything and then wait for the dry time and yada yada yada. It's just very straightforward, which I like. And I keep a little clip on it so that it doesn't unravel because it just sits just over there. Beautiful. Let's see. Next, we have numbers. Alright. Good next port of call. And we will not do the last one. Not jinxing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So on the 1st, Vogel and I celebrated our anniversary, which was nice. We went out for brunch and I got waffles and they were delicious. And he got like a smoked salmon eggs Benedict thing, which looked pretty good. He enjoyed. And then we went and did some groceries, which is, you know, general life admin kind of things. Went home, made sushi for dinner, and played Dead by Daylight, which is a game that we have been enjoying maybe a little bit too much recently. And I think we were going to watch a movie in the evening, but we ended up just watching Supernatural and having chips and dip, and it was great. It was just a good time. And then the next day, we continued our celebrations by having a full day of Dead by Daylight. But it was just a nice chill way to spend our anniversary weekend, like semi-weekend. But we are also going out for a kind of movie night. And it's this kind of movie night where they have, like, what's the word? Like, a meal that's planned around the movie. So it's the movie we're going to go see is Aliens, because that's the one that was on, and I know that he really likes it. So on the 11th, we're going to go see Aliens, and they've got like a 5-course meal planned around the movie, which I'm very interested to see how that actually works. Like, are they going to get to the good part of the movie and then just pause it and bring us food? Because then I'll be like a little bit miffed, because I'm like, oh my god, I was watching the movie, but then also like, yay, food. But we'll see. Yes. I haven't seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. I know that there were some rumorings about them pulling a character because of that game, but then Behavior, who made Dead by Daylight, came out and said, like, no, we're not doing that. Calm yourselves. So, we need to draw in some decorations, and we're going to do stars, sparkles, planets. I'm going to go get you my journal, so I can kind of show you what we're basing this on. Which one was it? This one. I sometimes have trouble remembering which journal had which setup, but... Oh look, this is the layout that Vogel set up for me a little while ago, and he went a little ham on the pen and it kind of bled through to the other side, but that's completely irrelevant. So this is the setup that we're kind of semi-mimicking to a lesser extent. So we'll probably do little doodly bits like this around the place and stuff. We might do something similar to this on the front cover, but not in a spiral, maybe just a ring. Yeah, blackout is the nemesis. It very much is. Well, for me at least. For this one we did little stars for the date covers, which is pretty cute. But yes. And we used a pretty similar colour palette. Actually, I think we're using exactly the same colour palette, except for no dark versions of the colours. We're just using the lighter, brighter ones. But yes, putting that to the side. I'm happy to have you here on the live. Let's see, how many months would you put in a 111 sheet, 220 page journal? Wow, that's a big journal. I'd probably be able to fit like... My gut reaction is like 7 or 8 months, but then again, I like to not restrict myself at all when it comes to setting up my journal. It very much depends on how many pages you like to do in each month. We do have a journal calculator at some place. I was going to say at some point. We had it at some point. I also don't know what lettering style I really want to do for this. I'm thinking maybe something simple and then shove them into circles for planets. That might be the easy way to go with that. I will need a waterproof pen, so I'm going to grab out a Micron, just because I'm going to do the outline of the planet and then colour it in. So we're going to go with 03, I think. And we can do 15mm planets. That looks kind of cute. We'll do that. And then we can use the little lines on the side of this. The stencil is great. I love this stencil. Especially if you're doing a space theme and you want planets in it, you know. Kind of already has all of the different sizes of circles, which is very, very helpful. And I appreciate the little lines that mark the halfway marks and stuff, because you can use them to line stuff up nice and easy mode. I realize that I have done these all slightly to the side, but that's okay. because it just means that we need to balance it out with something else on the other side. That's okay. We can deal with that. The nice part about doing a journal for Vogel is that he doesn't, like, really care. Care is maybe not the right word to use. He doesn't mind if things get a little bit messy. He's just happy to have something that I made for him, really. Which is quite sweet, I think. But, I mean, I know that I'm a little bit precious about these kind of things. So if this was my journal and I'd gotten to there and realized, okay, all of these are off kilter, I would be like, grr, arg. But we can balance it out with something else and it'll all be fine. It'll all be fine. We do need to go back and fix that circle, though, because that's not the business. We just need to line the stencil up really well, because I don't want to stuff up any other parts of it. Just gonna go around. There we go. That's cute. Yeah, the setup that I did in my previous journal when I was trying to do, I lost my train of thought. When I was trying to do some of these kind of circles, I was trying to freehand it because I either didn't want to get out my circle stencil or I didn't have it at the time. I can't remember which one it was. I think there was one circle that I tried to freehand and it was the most cattywampus, lopsided lol blob. So that was not really a great idea. But yeah, I think that we'll balance it out with some little, we can do like some little moons or a little rocket or whatever. Depends on which one. We'll do a different one for each of them. So coloring these in, we're gonna have a blue one here. Normally when I do outlining of things like this, I do like to use a thicker pen, so that then I don't have to be quite as careful with my coloring. But I didn't think about that today, so here we are. And I think what I'll do is I will color these in, and then I'm going to write the initials in them so that they're in the right place, and then I'm going to maybe do a little bit of line work over the top around where the letter is to add some smaller detail, visual interest type thing. And I think that for any future planets I'm drawing out, I am going to use a thicker pen because I'm already irked by how careful I have to be here. I'm not a very careful person most of the time. I'm the kind of person who thinks of recipes very much as loose guidelines. Even if it's baking, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'll put in as much vanilla as I want. Like, stuff you. You're not going to have you stifle my creativity. There we go. Careful coloring. And I think one of the nice things about these being planets as well is that any time that you go over an area that you've already colored in with the Tombow, you get a slight darkening of that color, and you can also use that to your advantage and do some more kind of pattern design or whatnot on the planet if you wanted to. I'm not going for that this time because I'm going to be doing line work specifically, but it is something that you can do if you want something a little more subtle than dark lines. Yeah, when it says 2 cloves of garlic, it really means 3 cloves and 1 in the pan. Love it. See, I don't know what's happened, but I'm like weirdly sensitive to garlic at the moment. Like, I'm finding that I have to kind of put less in at the moment because things have been tasting like way too garlicky for me. I don't know. Is this what growing up feels like? No. And I know that you do have a tendency to have, you know, your palate changes and stuff as you get older or whatever. But I wouldn't think that it would take away garlic from me. That's a little weird. But yes. There we go. And we'll do this one on this one. And then we can go and put in those letters. See, my default lettering from my journal is usually a simple cursive. Kind of like simple script-esque kind of lettering. But I try not to do that so much in Vogel's journal, just because, I don't know. It's not that he would mind it or anything, it just doesn't seem to fit his vibe, if that kind of makes sense. Like, at the start of his journal, we did some kind of, you know, scripty-esque kind of lettering, and mainly block letters and whatever else. And then we did kind of Aztec-y kind of style lettering for February. And for this one we went back to the kind of scripty style, but we were away for most of this month. So I kind of end up defaulting to a capital with serif a lot of the time. So you can see like caps with serif here. This one was just a simple lowercase, which wasn't too bad. And then this one was like a sailor-esque kind of style with the serifs. But yeah, not too sure what I want to do for this one, but we'll probably, I don't know, my mind is just like, just do the serifs. Do the serifs. So we're gonna do the serifs. Why not? There we go. It's simple and it's not, you know, it's decorative, but it's not hard decorative, if that kind of makes sense. Hi Vogel.
Hello.
How's it going?
What's going on here?
Yeah, we set up your journal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Spoilers on the screen.
There is a spoilers. Well, not so much.
Getting some breakfast.
Oh well, eat well.
Bye.
Bye bye. Vogel's off to go have some brekkie. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There we go. And Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, the nice part about this style rather, is that it's just your regular all caps lettering with little flicks on the end. Ha! So easy. I'm glad that you like the Aztec one. Yeah, that Aztec font that we had from before, that one is one of my favorite go-to kind of decorative lettering styles that isn't cursive. Tink. Let's see. So, we've got the planets in. We need to do some little decoration-y bits, which means we will need a nice little thin pen. For our nice little thin pen, I'm just going to use an O2. And on this one, we'll do like a little bit of sideways, horizontal kind of squiggle-esque kind of things to make it look like there are some kind of squiggly lines on the planet, kind of like you'd get Jupiter with Jupiter's squiggly kind of lines. And on this one, we'll do some kind of Earth-looking little blobby bits. You know how we have, I don't know, countries and continents. Earth-looking blobby bits. Yup, that's exactly how I would describe a map. And on this one, we're going to just do some little kind of crater circly bits. Kind of like it's like a little moon. There we go. Do some on the sides as well, so that then it doesn't look a little bit strange when we don't have any. That looks cute. And then I know I have other ones that I did, so now I want to go and find my old journal and have a look at some of the designs that I did on this one. Yeah, love me some blobby bits. So this one we had, yeah, so the wiggly line kind of bits. We had some that were just blank and had some rings, so we might do some of those. And then, yeah, the circles, the squiggles on a different angle. I think that was about all we did for those ones. So that's looking pretty good. We'll do some rings and some that are just kind of blank. Clonk. I'm going to leave you blank because you're darker, which means that the lines don't necessarily show up quite as well. For this one, I am going to use a pencil because I don't want to do a ring over it and it looking weird. I don't want it to look weird. So we'll do the rings this way, I think. There we go. That looks kind of cute. And then we can actually go and pen over the top of them. Make it just a little bit easier to make things look good by not trying to just go straight in with pen. And it also means that I can stop at an appropriate point in time, because I don't want it to cut across the letter. There we go. Cute. Oh, I love it. I don't necessarily know if there are any planets that have rings that go in like weird directions like that. I feel like they kind of all usually radiate from the same place, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. This is a stylized version. We're taking some artistic liberties. This one we're gonna leave as is. This guy we're gonna come in here with the kind of line work from before. There we go. It's like got tiger stripes. That looks cute. We'll do one in here too. There we go. And this one can have the blobby bits, the continent-esque kind of shapes. There we go. Like a tongue. Bleh. It's cute. I love it. So, yeah, the ring planets, I find them quite nice to look at, eh? They're visually satisfying. We do need to go get rid of the pencil and just hope and pray that the pen is dry. It looks to be fairly dry. We should be okay. I don't like it when you erase over something that you thought was dry and end up smudging things everywhere. That's, how we say, a huge bummer. So we're gonna go and put some little moons, stars, sparkle kind of things around the outside of our planets. And we're gonna kind of match up reverse color. So any blue will get yellow, any yellow will get blue. Yeah. And we'll just do a couple. And a couple on the other side, but mainly 3 on the right. There we go, that looks kind of cool. So it's just to add a little bit of balance to what we've set up so far. And there we go, that looks pretty cute. I feel like I should outline them so that they actually kind of look a bit more like they're part of what we've done, but I might leave them for now just in case I change my mind. That looks cool. This one's a little bit trickier because you have to kind of balance it with the rings as well, but we've done a pretty okay job of it, I think. There we go. Oh, how cute is that? I love it. So, typically when I do stars and sparkles, I usually like to use a combination of a couple different types. So I'll do ones that are like just a regular kind of X type thing, or more of like a plus symbol, or kind of an elongated plus symbol. And then you have the ones that are kind of a 4-pointed diamond-esque kind of star, like that. Also do this type of thing where it's like the center is so bright that it's kind of not visible. And we've got obviously the typical little stars like that, and also usually just some X's and some circles, and you kind of just dot them around the place, and the combination of them looks kind of sparkle-esque, you know? The question was, what is the brand of Vogel's journal? This is a Kuma Stationery and Crafts journal. Got a little moon on the side, which is pretty cute. Little moon on the front with the little stars, which is pretty swell. Yeah. I don't think I have links in the description box yet. I'll put them up when we're done. But yeah. It's a nice journal though. I think that it was kind of cute that it comes with a little bookmark when you buy it. So it has a little, because Kuma means bear, so it has a little red panda kind of bear on top of it, and it has a little ruler and some little, I don't know, stars and sparkles, I suppose, which is kind of cute, with the little sleeping red panda. Yeah, I think it's a red panda. It looks like a red panda. I'm gonna call it a red panda. We just tuck that in the back with the all of these post-it notes, which I was, I think, using at one point to map out where I was doing something, but I didn't want to throw them away because it was quite a lot of post-it notes, so I just shoved them in the back. You watched me unbox it yesterday. Oh, nice. We actually have another We have enough journals to do another unboxing. I feel like we should. Maybe not right now, but like, you know, in general. But yes. So, the calendar's looking pretty cute. It needs some decoration. I'm thinking that I'm going to just, I guess, fill the rest of the space with planets, but I think that I want them all to possibly be smaller than the days, so that the days still stand out. Undecided. Also Tink. I think that we're gonna go with doing planets that are, because if this was 1.5, I don't want them to be too small is the only thing. Okay, I feel like I really should have gotten my pencil off the floor, to be completely honest with you. But we're not going to do that. We're going to use the only pencil I have available to me right now, which is dark as heck. And we're going to do like one here, and one there, and one there, one there, and one here, and there, and there, and there, and there. We'll do one in the corner, why not? One down the side. One over here. This is just me roughly placing out where I want the planets to go. And then in amongst all of those, I can do all of the little bits and pieces that are kind of cute and decorative and stuff like that. There we go. Yeah, I think you should get yourself a drink so that when we do the tink, you can tink with us. Team Tink. Oh, you arrive with new markers. That's exciting. Oh yeah, I really loved the bubble tea theme as well. That one was a lot of fun to do, and I thought it was very cute. And I would totally be keen to do something like that in my journal at some stage, but I did that one in Rachel's. Now I need a pen that is not as thick as the 08, but still thick enough that I don't have to be too careful with my outlining. So I'm going to use the 05, which is 0.45 millimeter, and we're going to go with a 12 millimeter circle. And I'm not being too particularly careful about where these are going because they are supposed to be fairly randomly placed. And I want to try and make sure that they don't all fall on the same kind of vertical alignment so that then they do look a little bit more random. Yeah, it's one of those things of balancing balance, I suppose, of where things are placed versus the kind of randomness that we're trying to go for here. Randomness in terms of my layouts is not something that I am particularly good at. I'm slowly getting better at it, because oftentimes when things get randomly placed, I'm then sitting there thinking, yeah, but they look like too close together, or too far apart, or there's not enough of X, Y, Z in this space over here, or whatever else, which can be a little bit tricky to deal with. This guy can sit in here, because we feel like we need to have one down the side. And we'll have one down the bottom here. We can get it to sit where it needs to sit. Thank you, friend. It's also that this one is very close to the calendar, so I needed this one to be fairly close to the calendar, so that then it didn't feel like that guy was strange because of it. And this one can be very close to the edge of the paper. There we go. Okay, cute. I don't have any that are hanging off. I mean, technically speaking, I could have probably put in some that were hanging off, but I didn't want to. So I didn't do it. Let's see. Drinking a cucumber lime Gatorade. I have not heard of that flavor. It sounds very interesting. Let's see. That's a great question. What's everyone's favorite way to cook eggs? Okay, so I'm now going to answer this question as well because I'm part of it. I really like a good scrambled egg, as long as the scramble isn't too overdone. I think that an overdone scramble is like one of the saddest things ever because it's like halfway to fried. I used to quite like just a regular fried egg, like put in a pan and fried. I know there are a lot of different names for how you fry an egg in the States because we went to a restaurant and Vogel asked for eggs with his breakfast or something, and she was like, "Oh, how do you want them?" And he just said fried because that's just the way that you describe it. And she kind of looked at him like he was a heathen, and so Vaughn like panicked. He's like, "I don't know what to say here," and Erica had to step in and be like, "Do you want them like over easy, like under easy?" I don't remember what she was saying because we were just sitting there like, "What the heck are these words?" Like, this doesn't make any sense. But yeah, if you want a fried egg here, it usually just means you want a fried sunny side up like egg with a runny yolk or something like that. We don't necessarily go by the idea of like what over easy means and stuff. It's not typical terminology for us. But yes, I like a good scrambled egg. What I call like a soft scrambled. Like the egg is cooked, but it's not like rubbery. I really like a good soft boiled egg where you can dip little toast soldiers into the egg yolk. That's really good. I oftentimes, like, if you're not going to scramble an egg before you cook it or like, you know, whisk it or whatever, I typically like my yolk to be runny but my white to be like cooked the whole way through, because one time I'm pretty sure an egg gave me the food poisoning. One time. So now, ever since then, anytime I fry an egg, I have to be like really cautious about it. I'm like checking the white, like picking at it with my fork to make sure it's all cooked, because I'm like very skeptical. I'm like, oh, it's gonna give me the sadness. So we're gonna go and put some dots in amongst these. And these ones can be just randomly placed, which is nice. We need to make sure that we don't do too many of them, because we're also going to put stars and sparkles in amongst all of this. Put one over that. That looks good. And then we can do some blue ones as well. And then we can put the stars and sparkles in amongst all of them. Sparkle, sparkle. Need to remember that we're going to put other things in here, so don't go too over the top with it, Jessica. Because we're effectively just filling space here. But you see how much easier it is with the dot markers. I don't have to try and draw out all of these little circles myself. And as I go through, I'm also applying varying amounts of pressure, so that in some places the dot is quite large and in other dots are quite small comparatively. Yeah. Ooh, hard-boiled eggs. See, I think hard-boiled, I like what's called like eggy salad, I suppose. It's like an eggy sandwich, eggy salad sandwich. So you hard-boil the eggs, then you kind of like half mash them up with salt, pepper, mayo. You can put other stuff in there as well, and then you can put it in a sandwich. It's kind of like an eggy spread or something. It's quite good. Eggy. Let's go color in some planets. So I think that for this I might just... do I want to just use... I need to be careful of where I'm placing the colored planets compared to where the colors of these ones are, I think. So if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, then that would be blue, 2, 3, 4, blue. Yeah, that looks good. Blue, 2, 3, 4, blue, because I just want it to be far enough away from both this blue and that blue. Blue, 2, 3, 4, blue. Yeah, that works. Hey, look who did such a good job putting down a perfect number of planets. And then I think that this is tricky, because we're gonna have a yellow here if we're not careful, so I feel like maybe that has to be a dark blue. Because if this one's a dark blue rather than a yellow, then the yellow one's not too close to either of them. But that means that you have to be gold, like gold, and then you have to be yellow, so that the two yellows aren't too close to each other. See, again, just not being able to deal with like randomness. I feel like I want you to be gold though. Just applied to 2 jobs though. That's exciting. Best of luck to you. I hope that you hear good things back. And I don't want the dark blue to be right here. But I don't really want gold to be there either. I'm gonna put gold there. It'll be fine. We'll be okay. We'll make our peace with it. So if you are gold and you are gold, because I mean these will also differ in terms of the pattern that we put on top of them anyways, so it's fine. Then I want you to be dark blue, because I just don't want it to be like gold blue, because I think that'd look a little bit peculiar. We don't want it to look too, I don't know, formulaic in terms of pattern, I suppose. Where's my other... There he is. There's my blue. You're back. Judy called. You had to feed the teenager. Wait, did I just do this wrong? What was I going to do here? Oh, no. Oh, no. Gold. Yellow. Yellow. Thank you. There we go. I'm good. I'm okay. Everything's fine. This is all fine. Let's see. Okay. This ones really don't matter in terms of which color order we do things in. So we're just going to do this order here. So that then they're, in theory, as far away from each other as possible. So that one will be the gold one. And the next one will be yellow. And then the one after that will be the darker of the blues. And then similar up the other side, I think is a good idea. If you're the darker of the blues and you're the pale yellow. Yeah, that works. There we go. Everything is good. All okay. We're all okay. This is coming together quite nicely though. And I'm thinking that on the front cover we're going to do something like a ring of planets around a September header. It's quite funny that they're both Septembers as well. Like the last time I did a space theme for myself was September, and then this is also September. And it's also the same color palette because this is what I like for space themes. Tink. Alright, looking pretty cute. Now, we want to go and put some line work over the top and then add in some decoration around the outside. So this one we're going to just do some lines on. And you kind of try to keep the lines so that they're not all like a same distance apart or anything. You kind of make them all tend in the same direction, but they're not perfect, I suppose. I mean, you can do that way if you want to. It's your journal. Do as you will. We're going to do a single line around here. We could probably do 2. There you go. That looks kind of cute. And this guy can just get some circles. We have to remember to leave some of them blank. There we go. And then I guess you can be the blank one. I know that feels very blank. So now I feel like I want to put something on there. I'm going to do it. You can get some country-esque blobs. Little continent-esque kind of things. I like how forgiving the planets are. I think it makes it a very approachable theme, which is nice, and then made even more easy and approachable by using the stencils and the dot markers and stuff like that. This guy here, I don't want to make it so that then they end up being exactly the same every single time. So maybe you can have a singular ring. Go. And you can have the kind of line-esque type things. And there we go. Oh, we need to do some ones with the tiger stripe-esque kind of things too. So this guy can have tiger stripes. Which is kind of similar to the lines that we did on this one. It's just that they're kind of triangles coming in from either side. Which you can, make different lengths and whatever else. Make them a little bit scraggly looking. But it's just another type of little decorative piece that we can put on our planets to make them look visually interesting. I don't want to do rings right above this one, so we're going to do the little crater. Oh, but then you've got craters. We're going to do the We're going to do the planet, lol. We're going to do the continent type things here. There we go. So, with my reading journal, which you may or may not have seen already, the inside cover of that, I've done a fantasy map type thing, and this kind of type of continent building, whatever, very much reminds me of that, like going around the shoreline and just doing all of the little kind of inlets and whatever else. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that very much. You're gonna be craters. So I appreciate this type of theme that because these planets don't actually have to look like any particular planet, you can make them look like that if you want to. Like if you're doing a space theme, it could be semi-based on a galaxy not so far away, but I'm just doing it based on whatever. This looks like a little cheese planet, not gonna lie. Didn't really think about that before I started putting holes in my little planet, but yeah. You're really just waiting to see the reading journal. Yep, it's coming this week. It's coming. I just have to actually film the flip through part of it and then actually put the video together, I suppose. Rings. Kind of want to do rings on this one. Turn my journal so that it's a little easier to put the ring in. We're just going to keep you as one ring. I have a tendency to want to draw them in a certain direction, it seems. I don't typically, when I put the rings on the planet, I don't like to make them perfectly around the middle, because if it's even a little off kilter, it'll look like I tried to put it perfectly in the middle, and it'll look not quite right, and that will bother me. And that's why I don't do it. There we go. Guys, some little blobs of whatever else here. There we go. Cute. And then we'll do some of those lines that go across. And I do mine mainly in a horizontal tending direction, but you can do them diagonally or vertically. That also works just fine. And then little cheese planet with craters. It's been beat up. All the other planets pick on it. They call it crater face. Poor baby. There we go. That looks swell. Just swell. I do find that one of the hardest to do in terms of keeping the randomness alive are the little circles, because I very much just want to make it almost a polka dot, make it very kind of clearly aligned with things. But yeah. Did you finish all the reading we were assigned? What, me? I don't know if you're talking to me about that. Was I assigned reading? Oh no! I don't want to do the same, so we're going to do a ring, and we're going to do the ring on a... See, because these two are both on the same angle, and I want to do two rings on this one, but I don't want it to be exactly the same angle. Maybe I can do them vertically? There we go. Perfect. So cute. Love it. And then we just have these two. And then it'll be the fill in the rest of the other stuff. Yes, magical readathon. Oh. I have personally decided that, because I know that G says that for the magical readathon, it doesn't have to be done all in 1 month. And there was no way in heck I was going to get it all done in 1 month, so I'm taking my time. I'm currently reading The Court of Silver Flames. I started that last week, so I think I'm almost halfway through it at this stage. I'm enjoying it so far, though. No spoilers, because I know that I don't like spoilers, but I was skeptical to start it because of the main character in this one, but I have actually been enjoying it so far. I think it has made me slightly more sympathetic towards the main character. And this guy up here, we are going to do as... You look so naked now because I didn't leave anybody else blank. We might come back to you. This one is going to be little craters because there are no other crater ones up here. Unless we put a crater there. But I don't want to put a crater there. We're going to do... We'll do craters on this one. Little cheese moon. Cheese. Cheesy planet. No, it's all good. You are more than welcome to be late. It's totally fine. This is a pick your own adventure type live stream. You arrive precisely when you mean to. There we go. That looks okay. Or at least it looks good enough. She says as she continues to add circles to it. Stop adding circles. Is the book part of a series? Yes, it is the fourth/fifth book in the series, depending on how you count it. We're going to go with fourth. Now, you look weird because you're the only one who's naked. That's pretty typical. If you're the only one in a space that's naked, you probably do look a little weird. Let's see. I'm going to go with the horizontal pieces again, but we're going to try and make them a little bit more different to the one that we have on the other side. Just by adding a few more crinkles to them. That looks cute. Okay, so decoration around the general vicinity. What we're going to do for this is attempt to find my paper from before. There you are. So we're going to use these. Probably mainly this guy and this guy and that guy and that guy, because they're going to be the easiest to draw in. And we're going to start by putting all of this one in first. Do I want to use my finest tip pen for this? No. I'm going to use my Papermate Inkjoy because it will be able to hold up to my heavy-handedness. And we want to make sure that we don't put them in too many places because this is kind of the biggest of the decorative sparkles. And we're just dotting them around the place effectively. Similar idea to what we did with the just dots in general. Because I like it so that for our bigger pieces of decoration, for instance like the bigger planets and stuff like that, we don't have too many of those. Otherwise it can start to look very cluttered and very overwhelming. So these sparkles being the kind of bigger versions of the sparkles that we're going to be using, we want there to be slightly less of those when compared to the other ones, like the small circles and stuff like that. Yeah. So just putting a couple between each of our separated out planets. Trying to vary the general positioning of those things. Yay! This is the best pen ever. Like, I love this pen. It's not necessarily the greatest for outlining things that you mean to colour in because it is not waterproof. So if I had have outlined the planets with this, there would have been a good chance of getting some kind of smudging or smearing or, you know, essentially like muddying my colouring. But yeah. After that though, pick up the pen again. We also want to put in, I think we're maybe gonna stick away from these ones. We might put these in at the end if I feel so inclined. But we're gonna do the little circles and the little crosses. The little crosses we'll do first because they're not too hard. They don't require a lot of effort. We don't need to make it feel too full either. Having some white space is okay. she tells herself, even though she knows that she's allergic to white space. But, oh, do we have a question? There's a book club? Yes, there is a book club. I mean, in the assumption that you're talking about our book club, we have what's called the J and R book club. So J for Jess and R for Rachel. So Rachel's my bestie. We met in high school, and a couple years back, Rachel said that she would like to get into reading again, and she thought that we should start a book club, like just the two of us, to get back into that. And I shared the idea on a vlog, I think it was, that we were going to possibly be starting a book club to encourage us both to read more. And there was enough people who reached out saying, oh, that's really cool, like, I'd really love to join you, that we thought, okay, well, we can probably open this up to more people if they want to join us in our book reading escapades. And they said that they would be inclined to do so. So now we have a proper official book club. So we have a monthly read. And our current monthly read is the Midnight Library. I have not started it yet. But yeah, the Midnight Library. And we meet on the last weekend of the month to discuss the book. There's no particular pacing that you have to read it in specifically. It's more just like, if you're going to show up to the book club meeting, then either have read the book or don't care about spoilers. Because they're not spoiler-free book club meetings. But yeah, so people just read at their own pace, up until the point of being able to hopefully finish by the book club meeting, which is all advertised through our Discord. So the whole thing is run through Discord. That's where we have people vote on which book we're going to be reading. That's where we post what the read theme for the month is. So one of the things that we've done this year to make the book club, it's not to say like to make it more interesting, but to kind of help us guide our book club choices for the books, is that we have a kind of read theme wheel, like a random wheel that we pick what the theme of the books is going to be, kind of thing. And then from that read theme, we take it in turns to pick 2 books that fit that prompt, effectively. And then people in the book club get to vote to say which one they actually would prefer us read. So the Midnight Library went up against Haunting Adeline, I think? Je ne sais pas? Something like that, yeah. Let's see, was there a question? Let's see, you've been bullet journaling for 5 years. That's exciting. Let's see. Yeah, Jess also has an announcement video from the beginning of the year. Yeah, it does. There is a full announcement video about like the kind of call out to say like, hey, do you want to join our book club? Like, feel free to come hang out with us, because we love new people. But yes. So the general idea is that for our book club, the one that Rachel picks is a fiction book of some description, and then the ones that I pick are typically non-fiction books. So this year we have read... Where's my book? I mean, like, okay, as I said, my desk is a mess. I cannot find my journal right now. I have currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, because this counts, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 journals in my general vicinity, like just on my desk. So finding things is a mesh. Some of them are new, some of them have not yet been unboxed, and they're just sitting there in a very pretty pile waiting for me to deal with them. But anywho, this is cute. I'm pretty chuffed with this. I like the just, random background. I'm glad we didn't outline the little dots, circles that we had from the dot markers. I think that'd be a little bit too much. But this looks swell. I'm pretty pleased with it. What we now need to do though is a cover page. And for that cover page, I am going to get out a stencil. But before I get out the stencil, I was telling you about which book club books we've read this year. So I think the first one we had was Heartless by Marissa Meyer, from memory. I can't remember what that went up against, but alrighty. If you do not want spoilers for the Archer and Olive sub-box, you should close your eyes right now. You have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So this is for the Archer and Olive sub-box. So, this is the space that I have in my reading journal that is for the the book club. So this is the list of books and like who went head to head kind of thing. So our first month's prompt was as seen on Book Talk, or like, you know, popular because of social media. So we had Heartless versus The Serpent and the Wings of Night. So Heartless was the one that won, so that's why it's listed first. And then for the second prompt, we had won an award. So the book has won an award of some description. So the one that won was Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? And the one that lost was The Five Love Languages. For March, we had a friendship theme, because, like, you know, Rachel and I are besties. So we've kind of picked themes that are some about books, some about us, or whatever. It's kind of cute. So we read This Is Ever After, and that won out versus the Dirty Book Club, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's a little bit cute. So this is just like my little kind of book club summary-esque kind of page. But yes. Moving it away. Alrighty, you can open your eyes again if you didn't want spoilers for the Archer and Olive subbox. The spoiler is gone. The spoiler has left the building. Meanwhile, you were just like, oh my gosh, let me see it. Anywho, good time for Tink. Tina, you're 100% correct. Yes, I have absolutely no journal chill. Okay, just for the sake of showing you, this is show and tell time now. Okay, so we have Vogel's journal, which is on my desk. We have this notepad, which I kind of counted just because it was there, so that's fine. We have this red journal. We have this notebook therapy journal. We have this new R&D journal that I have. We have my long-term collections journal. We have this sketchbook. We have one of my old journals that is only half filled in. We have my current squared journal that I'm using. We have my brainstorming book. We have a Neapolitan that I got out to do something with, shrug. We have insert Archer and Olive subbox journal here, but I'm not going to spoil it for people. We have my 5-year journal that's sitting out at the moment. We have my cheap notebook from Kmart. We have the bullet journal from the Bullet Journal Company. We have my Quirky Cup Collective notebook that is absolutely beautiful. And that are the ones that are unboxed, or the ones that are kind of open and sitting out. And then we've got all of the notebooks that I just recently got from Archer and Olive that just arrived. And of those we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more notebooks. I don't have a problem, but I might have a problem. Yeah, I know, right? I need to do an update on like how big is my notebook stash really? I need to move all of these so that we can get back to work though. Distraction counter. Blink blunk. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know, right? This one here is absolutely so beautiful. This is what my reading journal was going to be. But then the softbox arrived and I was like, nope, need to use that one now. But look at that. Look at that gold. So beautiful. The issue that I had with this one, which I haven't even started using it, so you can't really call it an issue. But if we take off the protective slip, you'll be able to see. Ouch. Okay, so this one has the gold foiling on the edges, absolutely gorgeous. And on the inside cover it has like this kind of thing, purple this journal belongs to. The dots in this journal are really dark. Like, they're not like really dark, but they're really big. And the corners are very sharp. So I was like, maybe not. But also, so beautiful. Just not for right now. Yeah, Oopsie-Daisy does some great ones. Well, guess who just got a package from Oopsie-Daisy? It doesn't have a journal in it, but it had some of their stencils and stickers and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't have a problem. I just don't have enough desk space right now. That's my problem. My problem is desk space. We're going to put these gently over here. And then we're going to get back to work because Vogel's journal isn't going to set up itself. Yeah, I mean, the Quirky Cup Collective, they do such beautiful designs. It's very, very much a vibe, but I just need to figure out what I want to do with said journal because the dots are very different to what I have previously used. Well, my desk is looking clearer, but that's only because I just put all of those journals on the floor. We all know you have 2 desks and you don't have enough space. It's mainly just because I haven't put them away again. I got them all out to do a a video, I think it was about like the like bullet journal supplies and stuff, and so I got all of the notebooks out to be like, hey, so you can have like cream colored paper, or you can have white colored paper, or you can have dot grid, or you can have regular grid, or you can have lined, or like whatever. Yeah. Thank you. At least I use them. I know, right? Like, I have totally previously had a problem of using a couple of pages in a notebook and then moving on, so I do appreciate that I am a little bit more consistent nowadays in actually using them, but anyway. So we are setting up the cover page, and as said, I need to go get a stencil. So that's what I'm going to do. That is in my drawer. This stencil has been with me for many moons. I have had this since year 5. It's called a Mathomat. See? Mathomat, yeah. But yeah, so you can see that it's got like a whole bunch of like math symbols and stuff on it. I pretty much exclusively use this one. Because I just want to have a nice cover circle kind of thing. We're going to put it roughly here. 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3 on that side, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to move down 1. So now this one will have 1 less, that one will have 1 more, and they'll both have 9 on either side. Nice and simple. And then we can use that to trace out our circle so that we know where to put our decoration in. Ta-da! I mean, technically speaking, the Mathomat does have some circles that I could use. I just tend to like to use the Statler green one that we've got because there's just more variety in terms of the different sizes of circles. And we have been using the 05 for going around the outside now because it's just a little bit thicker. It means that I can colour those in and make them look a little bit kind of more like cartoony almost. I'm going to put 1 here. We don't want them to be perfectly symmetrical. So we're just going to put... We can also line up the little sidelines and stuff so that they sit onto this nicely. There we go. And we'll do it kind of roughly in thirds-ish. Roughly. It doesn't need to be perfect. And we're also going to go and put some other size planets around that. Maybe some using the dot markers, some using the smaller circles. So we'll put 1 here. And 1 there-ish. And 1 that's kind of almost on that middle section, but not quite. Like a little lower than that. Cute. That looks pretty cute. And then we can put some dots and some other bits and pieces around that once I find the lid to my pen. Yeah. The former math teacher and you just loves it. Yeah, I know, right? I think that the Mathomat is one of my favorites. I actually have 2 of them. I think it was because one year I lost it, and then, you know, in my room as a child, lost it, quote, quote, but then my parents bought me a new one because I needed it for school, and then I found it again. We don't want to erase this completely, because we still need the guideline to make sure that we're keeping things in a rough circle. There we go. And we're going to want to do some... There we go. And I'm kind of intentionally putting fewer of these on the line so that then the line kind of gets almost hidden, but there's still a couple. And we're also going to do the same with the blue. Ooh, that sounds like a fancy fountain pen. I understand that a lot of people really like fountain pens, and I think that there's value in being able to, you know, pick your own ink colors and all of that, and, you know, change them out and whatever else. I just don't, I don't think I've got the patience for it. That's probably the biggest issue that I've got with it, is that it seems that you need to, it's like a whole nother language of kind of pen use. Put that one there. There we go. I think that it would be interesting to try, but because it seems that the pens take longer to dry, and this might just be like, I don't know, a, what's the word? Assumption on my part. Strong possibilities that it's an assumption. Yeah. I also think that in theory, again, assumptions, in theory, they don't work as well on the Archer and Olive paper, because Archer and Olive paper isn't coated, so then the pen ink kind of feathers out a little bit because they tend to put more ink down on the page. Again, assumptions. Might very much depend on the pen. But yeah, see, there we go. You reckon that they don't work so well on the A&O paper and they feather too much. No, that's fair. Alright, we need some little sparkly bits. Try not to put too many of them in. And try to balance them on either side of the initial line that we put in, so that then it doesn't look like it's kind of sloping too much in one direction or another, if that kind of makes sense. But I like the Mathomat for doing these simple kind of wreath type designs, because this is effectively kind of like a wreath, just a wreath of stars, sparkles and planets rather than a wreath of plant life. But yes, that looks kind of cute. And then we can put some little crosses throughout. And then we'll do some little circles as well. Probably should have planned out if I wanted to have any of these planets have rings before I started putting other bits and pieces in, just so that then I would know to make space for it, but it's cool. We'll figure it out. If the need arises, we will figure it out. Cool, I think that looks pretty good. Now we can go back around again and just put in some little circles. I think it's nice to have the kind of contrast between the blue and the yellow, but then also the contrast between the darker little sections of black and the, I don't know, maybe less dark colours that we're using. I like visual contrast. It makes me happy on the inside. Gorge. Yay! It looks cute! And that was fairly straightforward, you know, in terms of ease of being able to do that, you know, not too bad. I said that the Micron pen was waterproof. Yes, it is. We check on the barrel of the pen. Let's see if I can get this to actually show up. See? Micro pigment ink for waterproof and fade proof lines. Nice. Yeah? I don't think it shows up super well, but hopefully you can read that. But yes, because I want to go over this with coloured marker, with my Tombos, I don't want the Tombos to end up picking up the colour of the pen, because that'll be messy. I do realise that I did 6, and I've got a colour palette that has 4, so this was a bit of a choice. Bit of a choice. I'm going to put this guy over here. Maybe I just leave the dark blue out of it. That seems to be the easiest way to go about this. There we go. So I think that if I'm going to do some ring planets, I might make them the smaller ones. What's the other colour? Yellow. Yellow, blue. Dark blue? Yeah, why not? That looks fine. We'll do that. Because then at least our cover page has all of the colours that we're using. It would be nice if the blue of the dot pen was a little bit more punchy, like this blue here, but, you know, That's what you get when you have multiple brands of pens, I suppose. And they don't necessarily all line up in terms of colour perfectly, but that's cool. Now, I need a finer marker so that I can do some of my line work. And we're going to do the kind of lined-esque sections on here. Just making them a little wiggly so it looks kind of organic, not pre-planned out by me. Ha 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 ha. And then this guy can have a ring. Or two. We'll do two. And this one can be a little bit cheesy. Easy, cheesy, beautiful. Cover girl. Not too many cheesies. There we go. That looks kind of cute. And then this one. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, you're turning 19? Wow. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katie. I hope I said that right. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hooray. Hip hip. Hooray. Hip hip. Hooray. 1, 2. Okay, we're not going to do that, but happy birthday. Congratulations on 19. I hope it's amazing. Planet Gouda. I love that. Planet Gouda. And then on this one, we're going to do just the little continenty blobs. Little continesque blobs. Little blobular. That looks kind of cool. And then this one I'm going to do... Ooh, okay. I need to remember. Do you remember? No, I don't. Remember. I think that if I'm going to do the lines twice, I'd like one on a smaller planet. So we'll do little lines on this one. There we go. And then this guy down the bottom could be tiger stripes. There you go. Tiger stripe planet is tiger stripping. And this one can come all the way over here. We'll do a little bit over there and a little bit over there. That looks cute. I love it so much. It's so cute. There we go. Okay, so we need to put a title in, and the title-esque style that we're going with is this kind of serif-looking thing. Serif-looking thing. I want to make sure it's central. So typically when I'm trying to do central letters, I just assume that each letter is going to have the same width. I know that's not necessarily the case, but that's just the way I assume it. So I go through the word and try and find the middle letter of that word. Yeah? So if we're doing September, we're effectively just counting from the outsides in. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So this E is the central letter, and that's the one that we place first. And we just assume that everything is going to have a similar width. Even though technically speaking, M is typically a little bit thicker than other letters, but it doesn't matter. So E is going to be placed smack bang in the middle of here, in whatever size that we're going with. I need a pencil. I'm going to use this pencil. And I want it to be centralized vertically, so it doesn't look a mess. That's 9.5. There we go. And centralized horizontally, so that's there. Cool, so that's our middle point. So if the E is sitting here, then we want the E to sit, like the middle of the E to sit there. And we're going to do that height. So E, September, M, M, B, E, and then R. Alright. And then once you've written out this side of the letter, or the letter, get out. Once you've written out this side of the word, you can see how far over you've come. So you can be like, okay, this comes to this vertical column of the dots. So I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in from the other side to start my word to make it look balanced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be the S butting up against that effectively. So S, E, P, T. September. Cute. Let's see. Where is... I need a thicker pen. And I want a thicker pen that's nice and easy to write with, so I'm going to go with the Papermate Flare. It's not waterproof, but that's okay because I'm not planning on colouring over the top of it with anything. So we're going to start with S. I'll put my little serifs on. E. Put the little serifs on. And then P. Sip. I do actually like my E's to usually come out a little bit further from the other side. So we'll put some of those on. That looks cute. And then the M being usually a little wider than other letters, being his truly difficult self. But yeah, I find that doing that process of like, you know, finding the central letter, writing out the back half of the word, and then like backwards mapping that over to the other side is just an easier way to get everything looking centralized the way that you want it to, compared to, I don't know, other tactics. B. And then E. Cute. And R. This can come a little bit further over than I've placed it because that line is there. So, you know, if you're gonna do this yourself, obviously you're gonna take a little bit more time with it to make the letters look a little bit more, what's the word? Equally spaced, balanced, that kind of stuff. But again, Vogel doesn't really mind, so I can be a little bit more chill with it. Now, again, we hope that this has actually dried properly before we start erasing things, so I might not even erase it yet, because I know that the flare takes a little bit longer to dry compared to other things, so we're gonna leave it. We'll come back to it and erase it later, because I think that in this month in particular, I might have done, yeah, you can see the little, I mean, I don't know if you can see it. It's very faint, but still. That's looking cute. I think that that is like a fine cover page. I have a tendency to overdo it when it comes to cover pages and just kind of pile stuff on, which is not really a great way to, you know, make your setups easier to do. But we're going to do a, what's the word? Task list? Yeah, task list for this side of the page. I'm going to do a just simple header that says something like to do and maybe has a couple planets around it, and then just do some lines in that, you know, every second line highlighted kind of style that we like this kind of a thing, just to keep it easy. I know that Vogel doesn't use it quite as much as I typically use it, but that's okay. Color, pale blue, probably. We're gonna go with N91. We'll test it in the back. We actually do have a pen test page in the back of his journal, which we set up when we did our May theme. So that's a nice pale color of blue. I always go with a really super pale color when I'm doing these every second line highlights, because I don't like when they look not straight, and it's a lot harder to see when they are not straight if I do them in a really faint color. Okay? So if you're doing these lines, it takes a little bit of practice to actually get them looking consistent. I mean, like, sometimes mine still don't look consistent, but I find that pen like a Tombow is typically the easiest to get a thick enough stroke, and also just like keeping your hand at a set angle and then dragging your entire arm towards yourself rather than trying to turn your wrist, because if you turn your wrist you're more often going to not have a straight line, and then that would be not quite what you're looking for, probably. Like if you're anything like me, it'll be not quite what you're looking for. We pay the utmost attention to try and make sure that we're maintaining a similar amount of pressure so that then we can fill the line as best as possible. But yeah, it just takes some practice, and you get more used to the kind of angle that you need to hold your pen at the more that you do it, kind of a thing. So if you can find a nice cheap notebook, a cheap dot grid notebook to practice in for this, it's probably the best way to go. But as I kind of said before, if you start with a fine, like a faint colored pen, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't look perfect, because it's really hard to see. Also, your lines will end up having kind of a little bit of the cheerleader effect. Like, if the majority of them are in the right direction with the correct width, then everything will just look better anyways, so it's all good. I know that some people prefer to use a chisel tip pen and use a ruler. I have not found great success with that. Also because chisel tip pens obviously, often don't have a wide enough chisel. So then when you're trying to, kind of fill a horizontal row of the dot grid boxes, it doesn't necessarily end up looking as good as it could, because you have to be careful with where you end up placing the pen within that row of boxes, because if it's a little higher or a little lower, then you get kind of inconsistent spacing with them, and it looks a little bit weird. I think the nice part about this, though, is that because it's hand-drawn, there is also the expectation that it isn't perfect. I don't know what we just went over there. There's a little bit of colour or something, but it's left a bit of a streak, but that's okay. I'm sure Vogel will write a task over it, and then it won't be a problem.
Probably.
Yeah, I know you're there, you lurker. You want to come say hey to the peeps?
Hello, peeps.
Aw, so nice. If you didn't hear it, Vogel says hello.
Hello. I was just going to say, I'm probably going to have lunch at 1:30 if you want to join me.
Ooh, that would be nice. It is currently
About 10:30.
10:30. Oh yeah, I got time. I got time to have breakfast before then.
Yeah. Having a bit of a later lunch today.
Yeah. Oh, Monica's telling us that we have to be on our best behaviour. That's tricky. Let's see. Does anybody not follow a typical calendar year? I've got 3 months in a TN, and each one is a Celtic season. So you're in the autumn, bujo, August, September, October. That's cool. I mean, I like the idea of people being able to, fit their journals into the way that they actually like to plan and stuff. So that sounds like it's a system that works for you, and I appreciate that greatly. So you can barely see these lines on camera, but they do show up enough in person that they were worthwhile doing. Let's put it that way. So we're gonna try and erase these now and hope that the pen is dry enough to not leave streak marks. Might be a fool's kind of hope, but it's fine. Only one of them seemed to do a little bit of smudging, little smudgington. That's okay. Cute. So we're going to do a similar type thing over here, just with the header being, tasks or to-dos or notes or whatever, and then have some little planety bits around it. In that sense, should I start with... Actually, now as I've said that, I might put the to-do header in the planets, which is kind of what I did last time we did this style. Was it? No, I did something really, really simple. I thought I put the... Must have been another setup that I did with planets. So rather than doing just the kind of header and then decoration around the outside, clonk, we make it more akin to what we've done on the calendar by putting the initials in the planets. So we do a similar thing here, right? Like to do or whatever with little planets. We're going to do that because I think that'd be kind of cute. To answer your question, I mean, okay, I feel like if you just joined and you're talking about the cover, it might have been from a while ago, but this is a Kumar Stationery and Crafts journal, if you were wondering. let's see. Where is my pen? Which one are we using? 05, because it was nice and thick and it gave us the border that we could actually kind of color in around. And we're going to vary the height of where these are placed and also vary the size of the planets too. So we're not using the same one every single time. Or tasks. We're going to write tasks. And we're going to do another like little small one. This one here. S. K. S. We'll put that there. That would look kind of cute. So they'll get filled in with the same style of lettering. They're just going to be a little bit special in terms of the sizing of those letters because of the sizing of those planets. Tasks. And we started with blue because blue is Vogel's favorite color. And we'll put the darker blue in the middle so we can alternate hues. Gorge. Did an alien space theme for September as your birthday month. Nice. Oh, yes, we have had the reminder. Tink. Thank you, Tina. Yeah. Space theme is great. I love space theme. It's just like a nice, approachable theme a lot of the time. Like, you can get really kind of hardcore with it and do, you know, like the whole watercolor galaxy type thing and whatever else, but I think that it is a nice one to start with. Alrighty, so we've had a question, scrolling back. Can we see the first page of Vogel's journal, please? I'd like to see how he started the journal. Okay, so in terms of the starting of his journal, he didn't really want a lot in his starter journal setup, and he hasn't necessarily used heaps and heaps of it, but we started off with a, it's kind of like a Tron-esque inspired theme, I suppose. So just a year at a glance with like many calendars and such, and then we have his future log and, you know, what's happening in different months of the year, and then we have his 23 and 23, which he's written in 3, and he's done at least one of them, and then his recipes to try, but he's kind of keeping that in another space. And then we talked about the idea of him setting up a weekly schedule for himself. He hasn't really used it yet though, but it's here for when he might want to do one. And then after that, it's straight on into January. He doesn't really, or rather he didn't really want a lot of start of journal pages. He mainly just uses his journal in the week to week kind of stuff, so kind of makes sense as to why he didn't really need the rest of it, but it's there for him if he wants to do anything with it. T A S K S. Tasks. Nice. And we can do the little lining work bits so that it looks a little bit decorationed, and then do some more dots and bots around the outside. Dots and bots. There we go. Cute. This one I'm gonna do continenty blobs. Continenty blobs. Continenty blobs. And this one can have the little circles. The little craters. And you can have the lines going across. Looks good. And then I feel like I need to have one with a ring, so you can have a ring. Just make sure that the ring doesn't cut through. There we go. That looks cute. So Swell. He's our train back there. Oh yeah, so the first thing that we had for his journal was Wellington kind of thing. So it's kind of like a very, very pared down Wellington theme. So like this is the cable car, and then this is our little fern, and then this is like a take on the Wellington swept away sign that we have. And then this is the waterfront and stuff, and then this is the tunnel that you toot, like toot toot, like your horn, beep beep, when you go through the tunnel to like scare away the ghost. Because there's a ghost in the tunnel. But yeah, anywho, just little bits and pieces. So yeah, some months I ask Vogel what he'd like in his journal, and some months he's just like, yeah, do whatever. This was kind of a do whatever month, so I've just taken free reign regarding what theme we're doing. I did talk with him about it first. I was like, would you be okay with if I did a space theme? He's like, yeah, that sounds fine. It's all good. There we go. And we will put some little stars around the place to make it a little bit cute. Not that it wasn't already a little bit cute, but hey, now it is even more cute. Cute, cute, cute. Just using all of those little shapes that we had before. Nice and simple. Alright. It's one of those things that I know that he doesn't really mind if I write stuff in his journal, in terms of, things to do or whatever, but I always feel like weird about it almost. I mean, you say as long as you don't do a Barbie theme for him. I mean, we did a Mean Girls theme for him, but that was a specific request. He loved it. Yeah, he doesn't mind if I write things in his journal, because I have written things in for him previously. Let's see if I can find an example. I know there was one where I wrote something in for him, but I really made an effort to make it look like it was in his handwriting, so I can't actually find it, because I did too good of a job. But, obviously in my journal I have a tendency to write in all caps, very plain all caps lettering. But there we go, that one's mine. Follow-up plans for September 2nd. I wrote that one in for him. So he has said previously, like, oh yeah, you can write things on my calendar and stuff if you want to when you set it up. But I'm like, no, it's your journal. I can't possibly do that. The Mean Girls theme was amazing. I loved the Mean Girls theme. I think it was a lot of fun. We did just go recently see the Barbie movie. I don't think he'd be super sad if I, set him up a Barbie movie theme either. Kind of a darker question. Alrighty, so anyone have ideas for grief or memory bujo? Let's see. I think that recommendations would possibly be it depends. It depends on what you're grieving, I would say. If it's the loss of kind of like a loved one kind of thing, I think that memory pages and remembering key moments or key stories and stuff like that and recording them for a time to reflect on later would be a nice idea. But it really just depends on how you want to grieve, I suppose. But if other people have other ideas, feel free to chuck them in the chat, for sure. Let's see. Sneak in a hello from the team, maybe in a planet. Alrighty, I can probably do that. We're going to go into doing the weekly setups. So you might have known that Vogel likes to keep his weeklies very similar each week. So just the 8 boxes. So maybe we could sneak a hello from the team in here. That would be kind of cute. Let's see. So I'm gonna need some boxes. I think that I might want to, because sometimes I rule the boxes out first and then I just put a little label very simply in the corner, whereas sometimes, I don't know if we've got them in this one, I like to kind of rule the boxes in but not the whole way across so that I can put labels on and such. Like this one was just in the corner, which was kind of nice. So I think that I might want to do something like this. But I don't know what spacing I want to use. Now for the calendar boxes, I did use a micron to do these ones. But oftentimes when I get to the weeklies, I like to use the Papermate Flare instead. Like, it's still the nice kind of thick, nibbed pen that I like to use, but it doesn't have to have any colour butt up against it, so I don't really find it to be much of an issue with putting, insert words here, putting any kind of coloured markers up against it. But I can't find my ruling one, because like I said before, I like to use the same pen each time I rule lines, so that then I'm only blunting the one thing, the one version of that pen. But I don't know where my blunt Papermate Flair is. And of course, I have all of my pens in all of these different places. So finding it is going to be somewhat of a challenge. Let's see, it might be in my black pen drawer. Grab the black pen drawer out. I say the black pen drawer, there's not actually only black pens in here, but it's primarily black pens. But that's a Papermate Flair, let's see. Haha, yes, this is my blunt Papermate Flair. Yeah, the archaeology theme is so cute, eh? That one was from, like, it's technically like a science theme, but it had dinosaurs in it, and I know Vogel likes dinosaurs. This one was Planning with K stickers. Stickers from Planning with K. But there was a lot of cuteness there. Whole lot of cuteness. Let's see. Aw. Thank you for being here while you were, Holly. I hope that you sleep well, and then I hope that when you're rewatching this later that, you know, you can enjoy the fact that we call you out here. Let's see. Yeah, archaeology theme. Super cool. I need to rule in some lines. We're gonna rule in the lines. I also need to know how many weeklies I need to put in this part of the journal. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Let's see. I can tell that this pen has been used well because it is certainly running out. I might need to find a new ruling version of my Papermate Flair. Da, 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 da. Yeah, Go For Your Life. You can totally use that song. I mean, it's not technically mine. I don't know what the song's title is called. 13, 6, and 7. The nice part is that because I do this setup so often in Vogel's journal, I know the dimensions that I need to use for each of the different directions. Okay, how many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, because this one's already done in August. And I like to, in Vogel's journal, have it so that whichever week has the most days, yeah, whichever one has the most days is the month that gets the weekly, if that kind of makes sense. Do you have any space music you can sing? I don't know. I don't know any space songs. Okay, actually, do I? I feel like I know one space song, but it's not really coming to mind as to what it was, how it actually went. This is gonna hurt my brain. The first one that came to mind was like E.T. by Katy Perry, and I'm like, I don't know any of the words to that. Except for maybe part of the chorus. Space Oddity. I don't know Space Oddity. Rocket Man. Is that the one that's like... No, I don't think I know any of it apart from Rocket Man. Something, 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 something. Oh, this space song is going to annoy me now. Well, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is real good, right? Like, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Then, what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yeah. Yeah. The theme music from Doctor Who. I don't think I could make the noises of the TARDIS. Because that's like in the background of the song, right? How many did I say I need to do? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Do 3 first. Just putting in some markers so that I can see where I need to actually rule stuff. So that I can do all of the vertical first and then go in and do the horizontal. Is the general premise that I am working with here. Do 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 do. Yeah, Bowie has heaps of the space themed songs, and I don't know like any of them. Did he sing "Dancing in the Street"? Or is that a different song completely? Like, I don't. Yeah, I am not super well versed in what I'm gonna call older songs, but yeah, my music tastes are fairly eclectic, but mostly center around Simple Plan and Fall Out Boy. No, it is all good. You do not have to worry about giving a song request. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we don't want to go any further. We are okay. We are a-okay. So one of the issues that I had with the weeklies last month is that I only had enough header stickers for like half of them. So then for the other half of the month I had to do my own lettering, which, you know, isn't so much of a problem. It's more just in a quest to keep things looking consistent, I prefer to do either all stickers or all written, if that makes sense. I'm definitely going to need to get a new flare because this one is having a sad time. My poor baby. My baby flare. I have a real problem with trying to like throw out oh, I love Train. Drops of Jupiter, so good. I have a real problem with throwing pens out, even if they're kind of past their prime. I'm just like, no, it might be salvageable. Maybe if I store it upside down for the next 9 months, I'll get 5 minutes of use time out of it. I have particularly with Tombos, because Tombos they're not cheap. So for those ones in particular, I'm just like, I don't want to get rid of it if it has potential to come back. Because, yeah, no, Drops of Jupiter totally counts, right? I mean, it's got a spacey thing in the name. I don't think I even remember the words to it. Like, it's one of those things that a lot of the time I'll remember words to a song when the song's actually playing, but if I have to try and bring it to memory without the vocalist doing their thing, it's a little bit tricky. Let's see. It's gonna bother me now though, so now I'm gonna go look it up. Alright, I'll put this in my mouth so I can go look at these lyrics, because now I can't remember how it starts. D-R-O-E-S of. There we go, you figured it out. Thank you for that. Drops of Jupiter lyrics, fun. I like it when my computer figures out what I'm trying to look for before I have to type out full sentences. Okay, so it starts off now that she's back in the atmosphere. Very good. Because I was like thinking it started off with guess for some reason, but that is not how it starts. It's like those commonly misheard lyrics. I love looking at people's versions of songs with the commonly misheard lyrics as the subtitles. Like, in the back of yellow checkered cars becomes in the back a yellow chicken calls. Which is not quite right, but still quite amusing. Yeah. Now that she's back in the atmosphere, that's... the more you know. Let's see. This is gonna look very good when it's finished. I am pleased about that. I need to decide how much space I want to leave at the top for the little planet header-esque kind of bit that we're doing for the date title things. These kind of things. I don't want it to be super, super big, but I think I do need to decide how big I want it to be before I proceed any further. I could actually just draw them in. That might even be a better way to go with this. Now she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her hair. Yep, that sounds about right. Can't play guitar, but I can pretend. $15 looks a little too big. Maybe we could go with 10. Nope, 10 is way too small. Oh, very fair. Tink. Oh yeah, 100% I'm blue if I was green I would die. I remember singing that. Not because I actually thought that's what it was, but just because it sounded funny. Like... Yeah, what? Since her return on the stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a space song. It totally makes sense as a space song. Which size is going to work here? 15 feels too big. 14 feels like it might be an okay size. I'm gonna start on the first page. That might be a good idea. I'm like jumping around like half-done lines with a whole bunch of wherevers. This one, okay, this one we're gonna put in his vertical lines first, and then we will pick the size of this thing. That is what we are doing. Yeah, misheard versions of blue is great. There you are. And I'm like, where's my gosh dang ruler? Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I don't know that one. I mean, like, I've heard of it, but I have not heard it. If that makes sense. There we go. We should make a shared playlist. We should make a shared playlist and we can all just go, like, song dump in there. And then go and find good new favourite songs. My favourite song, because I had to answer a question about, like, you know, what is your favourite song? So it actually got me thinking, like, what is my favourite song? And I decided that my favourite song is I'm Still Here from Treasure Planet. I think that is a great song. Like, absolute banger. But yeah. 100%, no wrong way to start a bullet journal. I like that idea. I mean, like, not starting, I guess, is the wrong way to start a bullet journal. Like, if you don't start. Like, did you find it really hard to start a bullet journal for the first time? You're new and you've seen so many videos of gorgeous ideas you're afraid you're going to do yours the wrong way. No, you can't do it the wrong way. You can't. I think that it's very much about, like, if your journal fulfills the purpose that you're giving for it, then you're doing it the right way. Like, for me, my journal is both a kind of creative outlet and also a productivity tool. So as long as it is filling both of those needs, my journal is all good. So figuring out what you want your journal to do for you and letting it do that. You love that song, You Forced Your Boyfriend to Watch Treasure Planet the other day. It's so good. I love that song so much. You really like I Am Here by Pink. I don't think I've heard that one. Like, the Pink songs that I know are all the kind of, like, old ones, like, na 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 na. And I know that is not the title of the song, but you know what it is. Okay, we need to decide what size we want to use for this little circle piece. Little circle piece. The old ones. Well, I mean, like, I say the old ones because they're the ones I listened to when I was a kid, kind of a thing. You know, just make a choice. It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna go with 14 because it feels right in my soul. Nope, I don't like it anymore. Abort. No, okay, we need to just line this up so that it is kind of in the middle-ish of these. Maybe 13. Why are you second guessing this? It doesn't really matter. Like, just put it on the page. Stop telling me what to do. You're not my real mom. There we go. And then that one goes there. Getting it lined up in the correct place is the most important part of this. Because otherwise, it'll look dumb. That would make me sad. I don't want to make me sad. You feel like it was just last month, yeah. Then you mash up the songs here on YouTube. One of my favorite mashup per songs was like DJ Earworm when he would do the yearly compilation songs. And I think the 2009 one or something like that was my favorite one, because that was like my last year of high school. it felt like a good time. When people do mashups well, they're excellent. When people do mashups poorly, it sounds like a sad jumbled mess. And that's another business. We don't want to listen to a sad jumbled mess. That looks like it's in the right place. Yep. Yep, we're going with it. Yep. No, we're gonna need to turn you this way, I think, so that then you don't rest against the spine edge of the journal and make my circle go cattywampus. We don't want a cattywampus circle. Just let the circle be in the right place. Instantly cattywampus. Work is beckoning. Oh yeah, no. All of the lives are always available on the replay to watch. I have not yet had a live stream that has not been available on the replay, so don't you worry about that. Don't. Do. Let's see. Yeah. This side in particular is the one that I'm having trouble with making sure that I put the little planet in the right place, because I want to, like, I'm tending towards putting it so that the line that would come up the page would meet the circle in the middle of the circle, but it's actually meeting it on the side. So I have to make sure that I don't kind of autopilot myself into putting it in the wrong place. There we go. So rather than going and drawing all of those circles in first, which would be a typical, way for me to do this, I'm going to go and put in my vertical lines just to kind of see where things line up, so that then it kind of looks, make sure that I can see what it kind of looks like. There we go. And up the side here. So you can kind of see how it doesn't meet the circle at the middle point of the circle, which is where I'd kind of like to put it there, but, shrug. Why did I put a circle in the notes? Because I still want it to have a little header. It'll just have a little header that has N for notes. That's often how I'll do it. What we have to watch out for more so is not putting a horizontal line at the bottom of that box, because the horizontally sectioned off place at the bottom of each box is for the meal plan, for like our dinner meal plan, and there's no dinner in a note space, unless it's like a note of what we might want to have for dinner next week, but then the notes for that should be a little bigger, and that would be silly because we already have the calendar section out. Transfer, rude, whatevs, it's fine. He doesn't mind. Vogel's book is a Kumar Stationery and Crafts journal. I will put a link in the description box below when I do the post. I'm going to say editing. This is not an edited video, but like the post stuff. Like after stream post, not like posting as in, social media or whatever. Whatever. Don't matter, I can sing about pancake batter. And then we can put in these horizontal lines and see how our boxes actually look and see if we actually like it before proceeding further. But to be honest, I think it'll be fine, and I'm just going to continue doing it anyway. Ha 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 ha. Da 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 da. There we go. And then we do the same on the other side. The other side. The other side. I think it's funny how, you might be just, going about your everyday life, and then there'll be a certain phrase or something like that that will trigger a song response in your head, like pretty much any time somebody says it, or a variation of it. I'd love to know what's an example of that for you. So, One of the ones is like, do you remember? In my mind, instantly it's, do you remember? Da, 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 da. Or other ones include anybody times somebody says like, it's hot in here, then it's instantly like, it's getting hot in here, so hot. Just like, calm down. Like, we don't want to be singing that to the general public. Where is the blue? The blue-grey. That's not the blue-grey, you're just blue. There's a very particular grey that we use in Vogel's journal, and I need to find it. There we go. It is called the warm grey. I need to make sure that we don't put it on the note space. But yeah. Hello, hello. Just reading hello, hello reminds me of this ad they used to have in back in Australia, in Victoria in particular, which was for a nursery, like plant nursery. I can't remember what the nursery was actually called, but I remember they started all of their ads with hello, hello. Yeah, I know, right? Chumbawamba, like, literally, I was just, like, tub thumping instantly. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. Da, 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 da. Etc., etc. In the night away. It's the night away. We drink some whiskey drink. We drink some vodka drink. We drink some log drink. We drink some cider drink. There we go. That looks cute. Got that with milkshake. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, milkshake. Okay, we're gonna do some, how we say, coloring in to make sure that we've got and we'll do this one too. That looks good. I'm happy with that. Yeah. And you cannot lie. Yup. 100% big butt totally makes sense. Let's see, what else in everyday speak would instantly cause me to react in song? Like, okay, so this one's not like a common song, but anytime something happens that is kind of like even remotely like it doesn't even need to be scandalous, but like I don't know, like whatever the like lowest tier version of scandals are, kind of a thing. But as part of that, Vogel and I, myself in particular, and he's now started doing it as well, anytime that I say the word scandal, I have to follow it with, I lost my job. Because there's this television ad that they had, I think it was for like Diesel Jeans or something, I don't even remember, that it's called Pete the Meat Puppet, and it's in black and white, and it's kind of low-key creepy, but it's also very memorable. And the entire ad, television ad, is done on this song, and it's like, here comes Pete, he's a meat puppet, a meat puppet, a puppet of meat. And, like, as part of that, his life kind of comes crashing down, and then he's like, it was a scandal, I lost my job, scandal, I lost my kids, scandal. Like, it's just, yeah, so anytime I hear the word scandal or say the word scandal, I have to follow it up with, I lost my job. But, oh my gosh, 100% have you ever is immediately around the twist. I love it. That's a perfect link. You know, have you ever felt like this? There's strange things happening, really going around the twist. I remember trying to explain that show to Vogel because he hadn't seen it, and he was just like spend the whole time looking at me horrified, and I'm like, don't judge me, you don't know my childhood, you don't know the things I've seen. That was a great show. Like, there were some very memorable episodes from that, like the Cabbage Patch Kid one. and the whirling dervish, like when the kid becomes a really good swimmer because he swallows a fish. ... Like, that was great. Yeah. So let's see. What else? I know there are other ones because I tend to slip into song quite often, but it's one of those like bringing it to mind things. And this is why I really want to set up a collection in my journal that's just like shit Jess says kind of a thing. So that when I get into this pattern with saying a phrase commonly, I can actually write it down so I can remember it in years to come. Like at the moment, things that I say quite often are things like persnickety biscuit. Like I'll say persnickety biscuit quite a lot. And I think that having that, like a record of those little catchphrases, would be fun to look back on in years to come. Anyways, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now I've got, have you ever felt like this in my head? Let's see. What if God was one of us? What? My boyfriend from a while ago, he told me that whenever he used to get a song like stuck in his head, or anytime somebody mentioned that they had a song stuck in their head, he would rather than get the song, which was like, I think it was called like Stuck in My Head or something like that, from Kylie Minogue, stuck in his head as a result of that, it would always be I'm Spinning Around. Because it was like that one step of separation. So there was a period there where the similar kind of like train of thought would happen to me. Somebody would say like, oh, I've got the song stuck in my head, and then I'd instantly just be like, I'm spinning around, move out of my way. Stop, collaborate and listen. I suspect your band would mention something. Grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. I really like that song. Like, it's such a good song. And I like it unironically. I just think it's a great song. Like, I like, if it comes on, I will very much hardcore bop along to it. Aw, Paige! How exciting! Yay! Welcome to the team with capital T. It is such a pleasure to have you on board. I have this thing where it's like I don't necessarily know if it's like a first time sign up or a new time sign up. I don't think it really tells me, but that's very exciting. Happy to have you as part of Moments That Matter. Yay! Let's see. Karaoke night would be so much fun. Oh my gosh, I love karaoke so much. Problematically so. Even if it's some of the songs where it's like I cannot hit any of the notes, I will try my darndest. I will try my darndest. So I'm gonna put some little dots around here. Do 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 do. I've notably done a few more of the dark blue ones than I have of the yellow. So I might go back and add some yellow. I think the reason that I did less of the yellow is because all of the yellow ones are on the side of a page. That looks kind of cute though. Yay! Fancy! The Mario. I was like, where's that from? Like, are you gonna do karaoke or go wild? I usually do. I mean, like, I say usually, I've only been once. Last time somebody like that I got to meet while I was there was Elijah, and they said like, do you know Defying Gravity? And I foolishly said yes. I would just like to let it be known for the record that I do know how to sing Defying Gravity from Glee. I know the Glee version of Defying Gravity. And they're like, oh yeah, so I signed that one up, like, do you want to be my Glinda? And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool, like, I know the song, whatever. Didn't realize that it was the version from the actual, like, performance, musical, whatnot. So I got up there and I'm just like, I have no bloody idea what's going on right now. Like, oh dear, oh no. But thankfully then somebody else asked me to sing, not Hakuna Matata, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and I got to be Zazu in that, so I redeemed myself with my Zazuing, so that was okay. Whoops. Oof. Like, did not feel very good about my performance in Defying Gravity, but I would like the record to show that I do technically know that song. Just the Glee version of it. I need my pen. Where is the pen? I need to put all the... Because all the microns just look the same when they're sitting on the desk. I need to put these guys away. So I can just hold on to this one. Okay. So I think that it has been, like, okay here. I'm happy with how this looks. So I'm going to just do all of those ones. Put all of those in. And then continue on with the other parts of this setup. I might just start at the back. Make it a little easier for myself. So 13. The 13 size is the one that we were using. But yes. Yeah, I need to pick my karaoke song in advance this time. Because I wasn't too sure when I got there. When they put the sign-ups for it, I was like, oh gosh, I don't even know. But thankfully, some fine folks asked if I wanted to karaoke with them. So that was okay. You gotta have friends. But I think that it would be cool, even for people who aren't necessarily going to go wild, if we could do some kind of like a meetup. Because we did one in Washington, D.C. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. I hope that wasn't too loud. We did one in Washington, D.C., which was cool. And so if anybody is like in, around, near Dallas, Arlington, whichever one it is, I think we should catch up. I think it'd be fun. But yeah. Well, let's see. What I've had reorganizing my Spotify playlists on my Future Me Problems list for the longest dang time, and I really need to get on and actually do it. I think that some of them need a little bit of consolidating, because I have a couple of playlists that kind of fill similar needs, and then I have other playlist ideas that I would really like to make at some point. Eventually. That's a Future Me problem if I ever did hear one. But it's one of those things that it's been on the Future Me Problems list for such a long time now that I'm just like, please current me. Do future you a favor and just like set up the playlists. We can add to them later. But haven't quite gotten that far yet. Also, tink. Oh, yay, Dallas isn't too far. That'd be exciting. DC was fun. Yeah, exactly. Just got here. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Such a pleasure to have you here with us. Yeah, do a UK meetup. I would have to go to the UK first, but my mum is going to the UK next year. She's going to the Chelsea Flower Show. Which, like, excited for her. She asked if I wanted to come, but I'm just like, I don't think I like flowers as much as you do, Mum. She's going with somebody else though. Like, she's not going by herself. But yes. Ooh, Baz's movie? Which one are we talking about? Wait, of Wicked? Or of something else? Oh no, I feel like I've missed something. Let's see. Oh, you're watching with your hub. Oh, that's so sweet. Yay! No, that's okay. Hi, Bill. I hope that you're having a great time with your setup, and I hope that your, you done setup is going well. It's very exciting to hear that you are getting into doing your own journal setups. Yay for progress on that. Great huzzahs. One day I'll get Vogel to set up his own journal. As if. No, he won't. Like, I think that if he was going to have a journal that I didn't set up, he would just get a pre-printed one, to be honest. But that's okay. I've finally convinced him to start reading Make Time, so he started reading Make Time, which is very exciting. Moulin Rouge, excellent. Okay, I thought that was maybe what you were talking about. I love that movie. That was my favorite movie for the longest time. I find it hard to actually say definitively what my favorite movie is, because, there's such variance in movies, and it is very much dependent on mood, but Moulin Rouge is very much up there. And, having, like, the entire Moulin Rouge kind of soundtrack on my iPod and just, like, bopping along to that. Like, every so often I find myself singing what is, like, the Elephant Love melody, like, in the shower. It's very hard to do both parts though, like when you're alone. Not to say that I need anybody to join me in the shower, but anywho. Moving right along. Going back to drawing in some little circles as we were. Yeah. Let's say, yeah, go wild in the UK. That'd be cool. I would like a Australiana version of Go Wild. That would be great. I would actually just like an Australian version of like a bullet journal conference, because one of the things that I got with Go Wild, to be honest, is that it is very much for, it's more focused on pre-printed planner people, which is cool. It's fine. Like, you know, they have a niche. I just really enjoyed getting to hang out with my online planner friends, so I decided that I'm going back next year, even though I know that literally on one of these previous live streams I have said that I wasn't going to, but here we are. So I value getting to hang out with those kind of the funky peeps. But yeah, there are going to be a couple of things that I do a little bit differently this time though compared to my last time. I think that's also the nice thing, is that like in going back for a second time, I get to have the wisdom, quote, it is not wisdom, I am not wise, to know how to tackle it in a way that's going to be better for me, because I do consider myself to be an extrovert, but there were a lot of people there, and I got quite overwhelmed at times, which was a new kind of feeling for me, so I didn't really know how to deal with it. So in knowing that about myself now, I can kind of tackle it a little bit differently because of that. I also thought that having our meetup the day after the planned jammer party was a choice, because I was so hungover. I was so hungover. And we went out for a really nice breakfast that day, and I'm sure that the food was really lovely, but I like could not stomach it. I don't remember what I had, but it was something super small, because I was just feeling so bleh. Let's see. Are you going to hang and visit other places after the conference? I wasn't planning on, like, I haven't booked my flights yet, but I have booked my hotel stay so that I at least have the Sunday there, a Sunday, and check out on the Monday. So I check in a day early and check out a day later than the conference dates, quote. But I know that the Sunday is really just like people packing up and leaving, but for me it'll be like do a little bit of a sleep in. But yeah, I wasn't too sure what there is to do and or see in Dallas, so I hadn't pre-planned to spend too much time there. But it's also the kind of thing that, like, if this is the only opportunity that I am going, you know, to Dallas, then it would be good to see some stuff while I'm there. Need some further thought, to be honest. Let's see. That one's done. That one's done. That one's done. Oh, I've put all the circles in. Great success. That means that the micron can go away. We can bring back our beautiful Papermate Flair and get to ruling some lines. Torchy's Tacos. Is that a place to go? Do they do tacos? Like, you're taking your dad to Alaska for a 70th. Oh, that's exciting. But yeah, so no Go Wild for you. That's fair. What I'm also very excited about, maybe, am I as excited about it as Go Wild, or am I more excited? Je ne sais pas. But next October, we are doing the Sydney Bookshop Hop. We are going to Sydney, and you're all invited. You can all come along. We're going to go to different bookish places and hang out and do some touristy things in Sydney, and it's going to be such a good time. I have not started properly planning it because it is literally more than a year away at this stage. But just know it's happening. So if you want to come along, start saving your pennies. It's not like a quote official event, I suppose. It's more just like a excuse for planner friends to hang out and go bookshop hopping. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. Will you create another Go Wild notebook, or will you use the same one? I'm gonna use the same one. I didn't the pages in that one, they're not completely used up, so I figured that could just be like my go wild notebook kind of a thing. So that's very excited. Oh, I'm excited to meet you too. It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna have a great time. Oh, I need to rule this line. But who wrote Make Time? Make Time was written by Jake Knapp, like Knapp, and John Zaratsky. If you look up Make Time book, it'll probably come up pretty soon into the piece. It's got a bright yellow cover. It's kind of hard to miss. Like bright yellow and bright blue. Funnily enough, kind of the colours that we're using here. These two colours. Nice and easy. Do the bookshop hop in 2025 and I'll be there. Alas, the bookshop hop is next year. It is not like set in stone, I suppose, but we're going for in October because it lines up with birthdays for people. So it's gonna line up with my 33rd birthday, and I think Bronwyn's 30 something or something like that. I can't remember exactly which one it was. Sorry, Bronwyn. But it's gonna be fun, and I'm excited about it. And you're all invited. You can all come to Sydney. We need to start finding a list of places to go. I know that Erin Smith, from Erin Smith, she's here on the YouTube. She's from Brisbane. She went to Sydney recently and posted a bookish place that she went to, and I was like, oh, I really should ask her what the name of it was so that we can add it to the bookshop hop list of places to check out. But yeah, I think the nice part is that Sydney's more of a kind of major hub, so you're kind of going to get more flights coming into Sydney than you will into Wellington. Wellington's international airport is a pile of crap. So there's a little bit like more availability in terms of people getting there, but it's still closer to home for me, to be honest. It's just gonna be nice. I look forward to it. It's good to have things to look forward to. It's good to be excited about stuff. There is a question. I do see it. I am just ruling a line and then I will find it. Wee. Schmack. Alrighty. Question. Alrighty. So, any thoughts on swag to bring to share? That's a good question. Last time, in the assumption that we're talking about like things like table mate gifts and stuff like that, I bought Archer and Olive stuff for my table mate gifts because they had a really good sale on, and I could get it shipped to my mate's house who was coming along, Erica, so she could bring it for me. So it's like I got a really, really good deal on it, and it had free shipping because it was still in the States. And was enough to qualify for free shipping, so that was quite convenient for me. But for next time, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do for table mate gifts because it really depends on if they have a sale. But also, because it's going to be in Dallas rather than somewhere closer, I can't get it shipped to Erica because she's going to be flying in as well. So something to think about. Not too sure at this stage. But yes. So now as we're onto the horizontal lining, that's all good. We then need to put in the horizontal lines for the meals as well. We might do them as we go. Or we could just do them all at the end. That's probably more reasonable because then I don't have to be mindful over and over again. I just need to be mindful in one stint as to not draw in the notes box, which I am getting better at. It only took me several months to, like almost over a year, to get into the habit of not drawing a line in the box. But of course, now as I've said that, I've jinxed myself, so we'll see what happens. Whoops. Let's see. We're going to do this one. Just joined? Oh, hi. Such a pleasure to have you here with us. Stay away from the note box. I know, right? I need to put, like, the caution tape over here to be like, no, don't touch it. Stay away. Part of me wants to just rule up all of the boxes for the rest of the year for Vogel's weeklies, and part of me genuinely CBF. And I think that CBF Jess is going to win out today. Because I have this thought every time I'm ruling up the boxes, like, oh, we'll just do them all at once, it'll be fine. But then also, if I rule up all of the boxes, I don't have the opportunity to change the corner design like I'm doing here. Like this time I've decided not to rule all the way into the corner so I could put the little kind of planet-esque motif. Put a sticky note in every of the right boxes now. Could do. It's okay. We're going to test. We're testing me to see if I can remember not to do it. But that's a very reasonable idea and a very good way to use all of those notes. What? Sticky notes that I've got in the back. Might be a good idea. But haha, we're going to play dangerously today because that's how inclined I am to do things this Monday morning. Or how I am inclined to do things this Monday morning. I'm also not inclined to use English properly, it seems, but we're just going to ignore that. There we go. Though I will say, it's not too bad. We're setting up the first week of September on the first day of the first week of September, so in terms of our timing with this, it is a lot better than it has been historically. I'm not very good at remembering that I need to do this. It kind of like weirdly surprises me every month. I say have to. I choose to. I'm sure that if I didn't set it up for a month, Vogel would be like a little bit bummed, but he probably wouldn't be like apocalyptically cross or anything. But yes. Alright. Put this one in. Love it. Nice. Yeah. You're right. Your dad and grandma's a lefty. Nice. CBFGS is onto it. Yeah, she knows what's up. Alright, we're on to the last one for the horizontal ruling with the black pen, and then we can get into the grey, or the blue grey, or the warm grey. It's nice to have consistency, but it's also tricky sometimes because the warm grey doesn't necessarily always fit the colour palette for the month. And it's neutral enough that it's not the biggest deal. And I know that Vogel doesn't care. But I'm just like, I don't know about this. Looks a little suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Everything is content. Everything is content. Don't forget to film it. Don't forget to film it. There we go. I think that one of the things about going to Go Wild this time around that I am more, I wouldn't say nervous about, because I'm not necessarily nervous about it, but it's in that realm of feelings, is that this time around Vogel's not coming with me, and he was my travel buddy, and I liked having a travel buddy. Now I have to keep myself entertained, but it's more just, you don't have somebody to bounce ideas off of. You know, if things, not that they particularly went wrong, but you just don't have somebody else there to kind of help and be present, I guess. I flipped the journal around, but I still need to put in those horizontal lines. Okay, team horizontal lines. So we put it in the notebooks, like right there, right? Yeah, in the notebox. That's exactly where this line is supposed to go. You know, I shouldn't even mess around with it, because I will end up doing it. I will put it in the notes box if I'm not careful. There we go. Not in the notes box. Crushing it. Living our best lives. Living as few dared to dream. But yes, don't do it! I'm a little sad that he will not be accompanying me, but I also understand that, like, he doesn't really have much of a want to go, which is cool, it's fine, but it's just like all by myself. I will definitely not be all by myself anymore, or whatever the song goes. But yeah, so he's not coming along this time, which is fine. He's holding out for us to go elsewhere, which is cool. I don't know. I recognize that I like travel more than he does, and he's like, if it's, you know, him coming along to just like roam around Dallas by himself, he's like, yeah, nah, I'm okay. Yeah, nah. There we go. That looks good. Make sure it's all lined up nice and easy. Gorgeous lining up. Absolutely beautiful. Couldn't have done it better myself. Let's see. Week number on their future logs and year at a glances. Oh, okay. Love that. So, the question is, when a week bleeds into the next month, do you leave it blank or fill the next month or fill it in there? That is a good question. What do we reckon, team? What do you guys do? I typically tend to just, like if I'm numbering a year at a glance, I will just number the week twice on the subsequent, like, space that it's found. Let's see if I can find an example. Of course, I put all of my journals on the floor, so finding things is great. On my one, I like to see if we can show you my calendar. So for instance, this guy here, if we point, this one, the week finishes on a Sunday, so this was the 17th week. The next one, which starts on a Monday, is the 18th week. But for something like this one, which is, you know, the 22nd week and goes from the 29th to the 31st, but then the next week starts on the Thursday, that one's still the 22nd week. So it gets the 22 in both places, if that kind of makes sense. Put that back into my pocket so it's nice and safe. I started filling out my Calendex, the video that we have coming out for team members tomorrow, for anybody in slow and steady up, is the new journal population process. So if you're part of the team with a capital T, in particular anybody in slow and steady and up, then you will receive a notification of that video, which is exciting. Ooh, very good point. It is a time for Tink. Tink. Michelle, I miss you. I feel like I haven't seen you in, like, I don't know, many moons. And maybe I'm just talking schmack and maybe it's only been like a week or something, but I feel like I haven't seen you in a while and it's good to see you. Alrighty. Let's see, could we take, oh, I love this, love benefits. Okay, could we tell the benefit of the week number? We've never done it. Really depends on your kind of planning. For me personally, it's just about kind of noting the progress of time, right? I have a tendency to either over or underestimate how much time I have left in any given period of time. Like, if I have an hour of time, I don't necessarily kind of visualize well how much time I actually have left of the hour. Similar idea with a year. So if I number the weeks, then I can say, like, okay, I'm up to week 34. That gives me a much better kind of representation of how much of the year has actually passed, I guess. So it's not necessarily for everyone, but yeah. Oh, that's okay. I'm glad that you're coming back to us. It's been a while. See, that's one. It's been a while is one that, you know, coming back to the songs conversation we had some minutes ago, it's been a while is one of those triggers that's like, hey, you should sing this. It's been a while. Put the blue in the box. Put the blue in the box. Gonna put the blue here. Then I'm going to turn back and check where the other blue was. Okay, so if this blue was here, and this blue is now there, I want the next one up there. Kind of like just move them around, so it's a little bit different on each week. Not that it really, like, matters, but I like the idea of it. The blue in the box, put the blue in the box. The blue in the box, put the blue in the box. The box is a circle, put the blue in the circle. So if the blue is there, then the other blue is over there. And that looks good. It's effectively just same side on the other page, but reversed in terms of where it's positioned. So same side on the other page, but reversed in position. Means down here. So I can just map them all out. Just use one pen at a time and do all of them at once. Makes it a little easier. Keeping it easy mode. There we go. So that's the pale blues done. Nice. We can then do the dark blues because they just sit on the opposite side to the pale blue. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, I think that, like you said, with like keeping track of pay periods and stuff like that, if you have something that happens every 2 weeks, say, for instance, like it could be In our old house, it was the recycling. Like, 1 week was the glass, the next week was the paper or whatever, and we knew that the glass recycling was always on an odd numbered week, and the paper was always on an even numbered week, you know, vice versa, whichever. So having the week numbers could kind of help us be like, oh, it's an even week, we need to take out the glass, or oh, it's an odd week, we need to take out the paper, or like whatever. Also for things like pay cycles, is the idea of like if you get paid on a fortnightly basis. I like the word fortnightly. I don't like the word bi-weekly, because it adds confusion. So yeah, every 2 week kind of basis, because then you can be like, okay, it's an odd week, it's pay time, or it's an even week, it's time to pay the loan repayments, or like whatever. So those kind of things can be helpful in terms of numbering the weeks on the calendar. You're reminded of it, it's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me now. I don't think I've actually heard... I get confused between that song... No, I think actually they're the same song, and that's probably why I'm confused. Anyways, I'm just constantly confused. It's fine. Let's see. Good colouring, Jess. Excellent work. That's... Yep, that one's done. That one's done. That one's done. That one's done. Oh. Mwah, chef's kiss. So I have it so that the gold is next to the pale blue. Gold is next to the pale blue. Gold is next to the pale blue. Pale blue, pale blue. Which, that isn't like a super helpful thing, because like it could be on either side of it, so that just, yeah, congratulations. That was not helpful. It also doesn't help to be like, yeah, the gold is between the dark blue and the pale blue, because again, like that happens on both sides as well, so boff. But if you're down in this corner at this time, that means that next time you should be up the top. I don't know, I'm gonna put you up here anyways. Awake in the middle of the night for a live? Aww. Well, happy to keep you company this fine hour of the evening. Let's see. It's on that side of the... That looks good. And then it'll just be the... Yep, just be the pale yellow. Which is more like a bright yellow than it is a pale yellow. It's just not as golden as this one. Yeah, if your pay is done based on like a monthly cycle, then numbering the weeks isn't necessarily so helpful. But I know that Vogel, for instance, his pay is fortnightly, so then having week numbers can be helpful for that too. Whee! That looks good, that looks good. Because yeah, I know that Vogel likes date covers. We also need to put the day numbers in, and I probably should have thought about that before I don't know, didn't think about that. Shrug. Yeah, he likes to have the numbers for the days of the week. Did I tell you about the kerfuffle? I think I must have told somebody. We had a big kerfuffle, not really, but big enough, regarding his meal plan from a couple of months ago, I think it would have been. Yeah. So it must have been in... Here it is. So he wrote the meal plan for this week on this weekly, and so then he's like, hey, can you go I need a way to fix it up kind of thing. I'm like, okay, that's cool, I can totally do that for you. But I fixed it on here, which meant that all of the meals for this week were still over there, and it was this big thing, and I had to end up like pulling off all of the little white labels, because I don't know if you can really see it because they blend so well, and that's why we do it. There's like little white sticker label over the top of these, but these were all put on the week before. It was like a whole thing. I can't remember what the point of this aside was, but there you go. It was a whole thing. Anywho. But as part of that, he wants to have the days numbered. That's where we were. Okay. You are the only exception. 4th. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. That's for notes. No. For notes. Dry pen. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, and 17. The nice part about how I lined these up is that they are fairly central, so if I use the dot grid kind of as a reference point, I can get those little numbers fairly centralized underneath the planet circle, which is nice. 17, and then 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Very good. And then 25, 26. Yep. Your things next year may be based on sci-fi shows. That'd be kind of cool. I like the idea of a year-long theme. As long as the theme is still kind of flexible and that you can kind of do not necessarily whatever you want, but you don't feel restricted by the year-long theme. I find that if I feel restricted in what I'm doing, I rebel against it, which is not super great. 29, 30, and then this one's 31, right? According to my calendar, it was 31. Wah, wah, wah. There we go. First, love it. What is my favorite movie? That's a great question. So top of the list, like first ones that come to mind are things like The Holiday. I just love that movie. It's like guilty pleasure, but I'm not guilty about it. Moulin Rouge, great movie. Other movies that are really good. I like Easy A. Easy A was a fun movie. Also just like Tangled. I thought Tangled was a good, like, feel-good movie. Big Hero 6 was great. I love Big Hero 6. I love Baymax. Okay, so I'm going to go through and do all of the lettering first, and then I'm going to do all of the dots after that. And there we go. You can only think of 4 sci-fi shows? Yeah, I know, right? I'd be pretty much out of luck. I'm like, Star Trek, one of the Star Wars shows, what's the, I don't know, Doctor Who? Farscape? I feel like I should count. Stargate, Star Trek, Star Wars, insert Star Wars show here. Firefly? I've forgotten every single show I just said, because I know there was one I said before. Doctor Who? That's 5. Nope. I'm not going to embarrass myself further. I also have a bit of a tendency to find it a little bit tricky to tell the difference between what counts as, like, fantasy and what counts as sci-fi. Like, does Snowpiercer count as sci-fi? Like, is that a science fiction show? Battlestar Galactica, yep, that's for sure one. X-Files, for sure. Wednesday is not a sci-fi show. That's just the day that I'm initialing right now. Just for anybody who is like, Jess, what the heck? Anybody who's just watching rather than listening. Other way around. Just listening rather than watching. I can't do English. I feel like you guys need to let me know. Are you, like, a watcher? Or are you a listener? Yeah? Upgraded to Moments That Matter. How exciting. Yay! Pleasure to have you on board, Pam. Oh, yes. Team with a capital T. There we go. Yes, there are definitely 30 days in September. Sunday. Notes. And Saturday. Gorge. Love it. Let's see. Yeah, Doctor Who TARDIS theme would be so cool. Like, it'd be great. It'd be a great theme. Buy more bullet journals. Yeah, I have that problem too. I get you, Tracy. Yeah, no, I added levels to my memberships a little while ago, couple months or something like that, just so that it was kind of more in line with the patron tiers, so that then we have the same kind of perks across both of them. Notably, the YouTube memberships does have like, I guess you could say, like, slightly more perks, in the sense that they get like their name highlighted, they get their little conical flasks, so cute, love it, love seeing the little conical flasks. But yes, can't bring that over from Patreon, so sadly patrons over on, like, members over on Patreon can't have that one. But otherwise I wanted their perks to be the same, so that it didn't feel like not like favoritism, because that's not really what I mean, but it just felt consistent, I guess. We love consistency. Friday, Sunday, Saturday, notes. Love it. Yeah, no, that's not good. Well, I hope you're feeling better. That's lame. Being sick sucks. Dry faster. There we go. And Monday for this one. Wednesday. My pen was like, nope, this pen was not dry enough. How dare you try and write over the top of something that's not dry enough? You heathen. I'm like, yes, I'm sorry, but please write. There we go. Now, did we do any kind of line work decoration on that first one? No, we didn't do any line work in the planets. That's wrong, but we'll just ignore that. This is what I get for doing things on, like, semi-autopilot with my mind in other places. Whoops. That's okay. We can fix that. Notes. Alrighty, let's go and fix up this guy, because, oof, that's nasty. So, coming back to our rescue is the white sticker labels. So this guy goes here. Yeah. And it's white, so we can just stick it straight over the top and then color it in effectively. Oh, sneaky high from the team. We need to put that somewhere too. Don't let me forget. We're going to put that in. I feel like it needs to be super sneaky, so it kind of like needs to almost be like in the little bubbles around the outside or something. And it needs to be on like a special day. Like maybe today. Today is a special day, because it's the day that you guys said hi. I need my skizzers. Where are my skizzers? Okay, here we go. We got the skizzers. We need to put a little label over the top of this, how we say, faux pas. Is this big enough? We'll have to see. Beautiful. Look at that sexy little blob. That was not friendly. I think it's cute though. It'll be fine. I do want to go and trim some of it back though, so that then I don't have to try and draw the black line over the top of it. So we are going to get out our craft knife and do some surgeries. Surgery. I can't feel nothing at all. Surgery. There we go. So at the moment, it doesn't look like much of a good fix. You're like, okay, cool. Jess just stuck a white box over the top of a yellow circle. Not smart. But the nice part is, because it is a white sticker label and it's made for like writing on, it actually can just be colored over the top of. There we go. We do need to let it dry better before we try and write over the top of that, because I'm glad that you got the reference. I was like, I wonder if anybody's gonna understand what I'm talking about. But yes, that one's from Repo the Genetic Opera. It is like a cult classic. Love it. Anywho, but yes, I'm not gonna write over the top of this just yet, because I need it to be I need it to be fully dry. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that I'm going to write over the top of it and everything's going to feather out and be like a whole sack of sadness. We don't want sack of sadness. That's like not the business. This one is going to be Hi from the team. Alrighty. So I'm going to write... I need a smaller pen. I need a smaller pen. Where's my tiny? Where's my tiny? The tiny line. The tiny line. Okay. I can get real up close and personal with this. The team says... Oh, need another one because I forgot that says is not 3 letters. There you go. Wait until that dries. Hi. Vogel. Vogel. And then smiley face across 2 of them. We need the S on says, otherwise the team say hi. The team say hi. Says hi. Gorge. There we go. It's so small, but you can kind of see it here. Alrighty, so the team says hi. Vogel. Smiley face. Cute. We'll have to see if he notices. He might. He'll be like, what the heck is this? What have you done to my tiny planets? Nah, they're cute. So we're going to do some dots around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. There we go. Whip, whip, wob. Whip, whip, wob. Guess who's back? Back again. Vogel's back. Not quite. He's in his office, but tell our friend. What to the dance floor, to the dance floor, to the dance floor. There we go, that looks kind of cute. We'll do the next one. Whoopa. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Ooh, love this question. Any ideas of what you should include in your journal? Oh my gosh, so many ideas. What do you want to use your journal for? That's probably the most important question, because literally that is a big can of worms to unpack otherwise. Like, you know, are you a student? Do you need learning type related layouts, or are you in, I don't know, a kind of more corporate-esque job, and do you want to keep track of projects, or do you want to, like, you know, etc, etc, etc. Oh, reflection. I mean, reflection pages are great. Depends. Do you want to reflect on a... And I know that this feels like I'm just dumping you with a whole bunch of questions, but I promise you there's a reason. So it really depends on the style of reflection that you like to do. Like, do you like long form journal kind of reflection, or do you prefer something a bit more like abridged, like kind of stripped back type of a thing? Because typically for my style of reflection, I like it to be very bullet pointed, because if I have to handwrite things too much, my brain can't keep up. like my hand can't keep up with my brain effectively. So I can't write too much with it, whereas if I write nice concise bullet points, it's a lot easier. So I prefer to reflect on a monthly basis in particular, also quarterly. So part of that will be including a monthly reflection page, and then I'll also include little weekly reflection snippets in my weekly setup sometimes, so that I can reflect on a weekly basis if I want to. But yeah, school, hobbies, love that. I mean, depending on what kind of hobbies you have, you might want to include like hobby trackers, and you know, if your hobby is project based, like, I don't know, just example, like crocheting or something, and you want to do different crocheting kind of projects, then you'd want to keep track of those. I do very much realize that I have gone completely outside the realm of what I was doing over here, so I feel like I'm going to need to add a couple more dots here, because I got very, how we say, dot happy, as is tradition. Like, it just kind of expanded to be out the side a little bit more, so I'm going to need to go do more. More dots. More dots. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that doing reflection on a daily basis, I do technically have some daily reflection, but it's super stripped back. Like, very, very slimlined compared to my other types of reflection. Because, again, I don't want to overwhelm myself. I'm not really, like, the biggest fan of writing a lot all at once. So my daily reflection is very much like a 1 line a day, 2 lines a day. I love that I like literally picked the hobby you were thinking. That's excellent. Crocheting is cool, man. I think it's really awesome. Like the little kind of things that people can make with effectively a bundle of thread. I'm just like, what? Like wool or whatnot. Obviously doesn't crochet, doesn't really know what she's talking about, but there we go. Cute. Now that it looks a little bit more padded out. So that we can keep it looking semi-consistent. Because Jess was just like, oh, we need more dots. You want 3 dots? No, you need 27 dots. Ah ha ha ha. Effectively. There we go. Welcome back, Monica. It's a pleasure having you here, as per always. Monica, you missed the entire chat about, like, the Sydney bookshop hop, I think. Oh no, you went to the supermarket hungry. Yep, that's always a dangerous project, because I'm quite hungry at the moment. I am getting quite peckish. So, it's probably good that we're wrapping Vogel's journaling up. I mean, we're not finished yet. We are not out of the woods yet, but working on a cardigan, that's cool. Yeah, it's always very impressive what people can do in terms of textile arts. I am not textile art savvy. That looks pretty cute. Alright, and then that one is the next one? Yeah. Yeah, of course we talked about it while you're away. But it's okay, like, we just, like, gave people a heads up that if they want to come to Sydney with us, then they need to start saving, or whatever. Assumptions, I mean, like, you know, you could already have the funds ready to go. You just need to be told when and where. Like, that's not me, but good for you if that's the case. Love that for you. Oh, Jess got a little dot happy on that one. They got a little too close together. Like, it would have probably been good to plan in advance to say, like, hey, I should probably put some stars and sparkles around these as well. But I didn't, and now we're here, and this is how I roll. In the Shire, this is Friday, not Saturday, and I've just completely stuffed up the side of this, and now it has, like, an extra line on it, but it's fine, we don't mind, we're okay. Everything is okay. Everything's okay. Dry faster. This is looking cute though. I'm pretty pleased. Conspiracy. I did it intentionally. Maybe. Not true. Yeah. Everybody just pretend that you didn't hear what I said. Like, Monica's back. We need to play it cool. That looks pretty sweet. So we've got our little. The team says hi, Vogel. Smiley face, which is cute, and all of our little weeklies planned out with all of the different spaces for him to write his stuff. I feel like I should go pester him and see if he's working. We need to listen very carefully. He's at least stopped playing his music, so I don't know if he's still busy. I want to see if he likes it, though. I'll be right back. You busy? You want to come and say your journal? I want to see if you like it. He stopped his music, but he wasn't busy, so we're okay.
Oh yeah, I just finished watching a video.
Oh yeah. So this is your task list, so you can write all your tasks out. Yeah. And it's got little planets.
Oh, you did planets.
Yeah, because it's space.
Nice.
Yeah. And then this is your September, and then this is your little monthly log.
Ooh.
And then we made a little mistake here, but we fixed it, and now it's invisible.
I'm watching it on there, so it's harder to see. So.
Excellent. It's even more invisible because he's watching it on the screen. And then after this we have your weeks, and we have the day numbers here so that you don't get confused.
Nice.
But yeah, do you
But
spot?
which one's Saturday and which one's Sunday? And which, oh my god, which one's Thursday and Tuesday?
Don't even.
I'm so confused.
Do not even, because I got to the end here and I accidentally wrote an S in this box. So you don't even have to. You cannot. But it got little planet dots, and I thought it was kind of cute.
It's very cute.
Do you
I
like
like that
it?
you went with my suggestion of a colourful space theme.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is the same color palette as the time I did a space theme.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the people say hi, Vogel.
Hello.
Actually, they wanted to say hi in your journal, and we were going to let you find it, but if you're looking at the screen, you won't see it. You see? Here it says, the team says hi.
Very
Vogel.
sneaky.
Very
I
sneaky.
probably wouldn't have noticed that.
Probably
so
not.
Point it out. I also like that someone asked it as a question.
Hi, Vogel? Question mark. Hi, Vogel? Yeah. But yes. Anywho, this is for you, so you can go and write all of your good plans in it.
Thank you. Thank you, team.
Yep. Vogel says thank you, team. Such a pleasure. Yeah, I gave it this thing. That's because I just wanted to be excited about it with him. Anywho, team, I am going to go and have some food because I am a peckish biscuit. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked today's video, please do give it a big thumbs up. And we are going to be back next week with another live stream. But this one is going to be picked in terms of topic by you. So make sure that you keep your eyes on the community tab because we will have a poll over there. So you can decide what it is we're actually going to be working on. Have a fabulous rest of your day, week, evening, whatever else. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.